Houston, our instruments are showing that we have a incoming message from deep space. Repeat, Houston, we have an incoming message from deep space. Houston, we'll begin playing message now. Houston, we're going to try and translate that up here. Hold for translation. Translation complete. We'll begin playing message now.
Hey, it's me, Melissa.
What do you do when the aliens invade? Take a shot of MK Ultra and watch Melissa Jade. Put on your tinfoil hat and tune right in. We got that crime spree, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, a complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Aliens is on the sun or in Area 51. Time travels, unravels, haunted castles, cops are baffled, potential experimental thoughts that make you transcendental. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Crime sprees, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Fragile Obama. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited. Hi, Some Golf Girl. Hi, Nina. Paul, Linda, Julie A. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. I'm so ready for the weekend, and I'm so excited to go through the second part and continue to go down this rabbit hole. Like, it feels good to I don't want to say there's not always something that grabs my attention. I don't know if you guys are like this. And so like usually with all the cases I cover, not just any case can grab my attention. And so this is a little bit different because obviously with true crime, and this is true crime, but usually I focus on cases that result in homicides. And so this is a little bit different, but I've been really enjoying, and just like tomorrow's live stream will be about this other girl who has faked this entire pregnancy. I'm really enjoying going in this little bit of a different direction. And it still has the true crime obviously aspect of it, but I don't even know what I'm really getting at. Like, I'm just enjoying it. This is different. This is new. This is interesting. It's captivating me. And the fact that there's so much continuously coming out with it, and we're actually heading into trial with her. I don't know, like, it just, I'm here for it, and I really want to continue learning everything about it. Hi, Natasha. Okay, sounds good. Hi, Marjorie Morris and Julie for 17 months with this awesome community. I feel blessed. I'm so blessed. Okay, so let me pull up our missing child. I know Shay's about to be here. So our missing child for tonight's live stream, we have Jaquarian Helm. Jaquarian Helm, who has been missing since May 7th, 2025 out of St. Louis, Missouri. Look at him. He is a handsome little boy. Hi, Khaki Joe. He is 13 years old, and it says both photos shown are of Jaquarian. And so we have another photo of him here. So if anyone you know has information on his whereabouts, please contact the St. Louis Police Department at 1314-231-1212. Okay, so we started the first half of this court trial last night. This trial, and it's the family court matter. And if you weren't here, Laura Owens originally filed with family court to establish paternity start a parenting plan, child support. Hi, Shay.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry,
And
I'm late.
so throughout the process, and many other injunctions and protection orders and all of that great stuff, she claimed she had a miscarriage, tried to dismiss and withdraw her petition, and Clayton Echard's side was like, no, 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 no. Because actually someone left me a comment also explaining the reason why why they weren't okay with just dismissing, because again, they want to make sure you filed and claim that you were pregnant. We don't want you to just turn around and claim you lost the pregnancy and that there was a chance that Clayton was the father and all of this stuff. But someone had left a comment. Let me see if I could find it. Because I love when people explain it more to me. Where did it go? Okay. So it was important for him to get the judge to say that he was never the father, so she couldn't use a pregnancy as a new TED talk or something she could grift on from now until the end of time. That's also a good point. Yeah, it all comes down to she could always claim that she was pregnant, and so establishing that there was never a pregnancy to begin with is so monumental and massive. And I'm so glad that they pursued this. I'm jealous of your avatar, Shay.
Thank you. I like yours too.
It's shiny wise. I like it.
I liked one that I had with like the screen mask guy, but it just didn't look right like on the YouTube, stuff.
Oh, I love it. It's adorable.
Thanks, bye.
Are you excited to watch this second half?
Yeah, yes, I'm totally here for it. I was actually just going down a little Laura Owens rabbit hole myself. So
What did you go down?
I was like checking out her Instagram and the TED Talk stuff, and she just pisses me the fuck off.
Did you watch her TED Talk?
Not yet, no, because we had to start. But I started like even reading like some of the quotes and stuff, and I'm just like, gosh, you're such a poser.
Now, Michael is who she's referring to in that TED Talk.
That's what I heard, and I was like, God, I gotta watch this.
Yeah, no, it's so wrong. And then everything that's coming out currently, and we'll catch up because, like I said, she has the active restraining order she's trying to pursue and get extended out to a lifetime restraining order right now against Michael. And so it's active and it's happening, and I'm just so eager to know. I don't think they're going to offer her a plea, even though it's very standard, because if they can offer a plea, they're going to offer a plea in pretty much all situations, because it avoids a lot of court costs, time, money. But I don't know if they're going to offer her a plea. I hope they don't. But even if they did, I don't imagine someone like Laura would accept a plea. But I hope, selfishly, I hope we see trial so we could see all of the evidence against her.
Yeah. It doesn't look like a one-time thing, so I don't think so.
No. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's a little bit of a break, like it's still true crime, Fragile Like a Bomb, but it's different, and it's interesting, and it gives me the Tisha feels that I would get when I would be listening to the pretext calls and stuff. And, again, I think it's because I can't stand liars. Like, that's just something for me. I cannot stand a liar, but there's nothing I enjoy more than watching a liar get exposed. Like, it really it gives me endorphins. Like, it gives me like good feeling, and I don't know why. Like, but it does.
No, I get it, man. I know. I was actually gonna ask you some questions on Idaho, and
I know. Yes, we need to catch up with Idaho.
yeah, I don't know. I stayed up down a rabbit hole one night, and then I just
talking about
crying.
liars. That narrative's going around. Dot's legit. People who weren't there back then are there are some creators rekindling Dot's story and making it seem like it's legitimate.
Mm.
Alice says, court docs say a plea deal is in the works. I hope not. I hope not. Because it's also a way that they skirt around being fully held accountable, you know? The same way I hated Koberger getting a plea deal, which again, part of me I can understand in one sense why I do, but you don't get to see the case argued, it laid out, the experts, them explaining all of the evidence. I like obviously watching all of that. Old Granny Meg says, loving this series. Girl is crazy McCrazy Pants. I have not enjoyed watching something this much since watching Amber Heard squirming in her pair of crazy pants, dude. It's nice. I want to go back and like rewatch Amber and Johnny's trial just because it was so unique and interesting.
Because remember, I told you I didn't watch it when it was at its height, and I started kind of when I needed a little bit of a break. I started watching I think Emily D. Baker's playlist, and then I got obsessed with wanting just to watch like the best clip moments, and I was like bummed I wasn't living it in the moment with everybody. I was like, this is wild.
Yeah, it was wild. And hi,
Yes.
Thistle. Yeah, you might be a little bit lost, but go ahead, Shay. You could give a breakdown before we start the second half. And hello, Tony. Hi,
For
Tony.
this case, okay. Okay, so there's this woman named Laura Owens. Her dad was I think he was like a radio broadcaster.
You said bruh. Did you say bruh?
Broadcaster.
You said bruh. Like,
Bruh.
it's like, oh my gosh, bruh.
And their family was really well off. She lived in Scottsdale, Arizona. So she's been an extra in like different shows and produced a little bit, but she's pretty well known for like her podcast, and she does like some TED Talks. And basically, she had hooked up one evening with a former Bachelor star, Clayton Echard, and it kind of shit hit the fan from here because she is known for faking pregnancies and getting the family courts involved, and then she takes out ROs on them, and through this process they discovered that she had done this to at least 2 or 3 men prior to Clayton over the years, and she's absolutely bonkers in my opinion. So I don't know any other way to explain it, but we've watched her RO hearings, and what she does is like, so she hooks up with like Clayton like May 20th, was it 2023, right?
Yeah.
May 20th, 2023, and they had oral sex. So they did not have
They never had sex.
never had sex. And then on June 1st, 2023, she's reaching out to him saying that she's pregnant. And then basically he's not really kind of believing it, trying to fill it out. And when he's not interested, or the person's not interested in it, she puts forward a dating contract to make them date her. And so the whole end goal is either the baby is going to be aborted or there's going to be a miscarriage. There's never actually going to be a baby born. And so she's
one guy that she claimed pregnancy with prior, she legit like said she had 3 surgical abortions and 5 like of the pill abortions, like all for one pregnancy. It's insanity. It's insanity.
And then she said she was allergic to that pill abortion form, which she then later, fast forward to 2023, says she uses, which it's wild how this all connects. So you're going to see it, but she's had lasting impressions on men that she has dated for a small time and has put them kind of in these positions of where like she says she's pregnant, she's really not, and it really toys with them. And she finally got caught in the courts for perjury, falsifying tampering evidence. And so she's got 7 counts that she is facing for that.
Yep.
And it's going to be wild.
And so Angel, we're going to definitely go over that after this, where they're actually executing the search warrant and go to her parents and her house. Because again, she has that, what is it called? A vegetable? What is it called?
Or casita.
Yeah. What did I say?
A vegetable, but that's okay. So
Hold
the
on. I didn't say a vegetable. I think I said a vegetable, but a vegetable works too. Either way, I was wrong, but I didn't say a vegetable.
it's okay.
It was
I
an
love you
eggplant.
for
She lived in an eggplant behind her parents' house.
that.
Pretty
She
much.
did. So this is the indictment that was released on May 6, 2025. So out of Phoenix, says Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell has announced the indictment of Laura Michelle Owens. She was born in 1990 on felony charges related to a paternity scheme. In July of last year, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office began to investigate Laura Owens at the request of a Superior Court judge. So this is the Superior Court judge that we're watching with right now. This came after the defendant made several inconsistent statements during a paternity hearing involving a former contestant on the television program The Bachelor, Clayton Echard. Owens originally filed a lawsuit seeking child support from Echard, then dropped her claim alleging she had miscarriage. Investigators found that between May of 2023 and June of 2024, Owens altered an ultrasound image, fabricated a pregnancy video, and lied multiple times under oath. And a grand jury has indicted Owens on the following: one count of fraudulent schemes and artifice, and then a class 2 felony, one count of forgery, class 4 felony, 4 counts of perjury, class 4 felony, one count of tampering with physical evidence, which is a class 6 felony. And that's going to be in January. So that's what the formal indictment of the press release is. What?
No, I'm laughing because I was asking the chat, what's a vegetable? I think I can't pronounce it. A vegetable. And Jenny's like, it's a little lobby before you enter the main door. But I will say, I feel like I was somewhat on the right track, just like it's not the lobby before you enter the main door. It's the little house behind the main house. So like somewhat along the right track, but not at the same time. Hi, Dynamite.
I legit heard you say she was living in a vegetable, but that's okay.
No, you know what? I think I probably did pronounce it like that, but I intended to say vestibule.
Just like cucumbers.
Yeah, cucumbers. So grab your vegetables, grab your vestibule, grab your casita, whatever it's called. We're going to be watching the second half to this. So where we last left off is Laura has been the only witness so far. We had her under direct examination, cross-examination, and then redirect. And so she just got off the stand. And so now, and both the petitioner and the respondent have X amount of time, and they have to cram in the rest of their witnesses in this second half. So we're going to get right into it. Hi, Samantha. I'm so excited. This is the judge that ultimately reported her to the Maricopa County Prosecution Office for an investigation that led to her 7-count indictment. So,
and I'm going to drop the link for the Victims of Laura's website. So if you are curious, please take a look. There's a lot of men and their families affected by her frivolous lawsuit claims.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Chief. Okay, here we go.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you can go sit back down.
Thank you, Shay.
You're welcome.
One more time check, Judge.
Sure. Respondent's at 28 minutes, 46 seconds. Petitioner is at 31 minutes, 14 seconds of the 50. You can call your next witness when you're ready.
Your Honor, petitioner calls Dr. Michael Mitchell.
Hi, Auntie M. Welcome.
Doctor, if you'd like to bring water with you, you may.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear who they're calling.
When you're ready.
Your Honor, petitioner calls Dr. Michael Mitchell.
Okay.
All right.
So this will be Laura's expert, okay? And it's very interesting because, again, we spoke about yesterday, essentially, whatever expert your side is going to call it, it's always going to be a narrative that's in favor of the client. Now, that doesn't mean what they're saying is wrong. It just means that it doesn't necessarily apply to this case. So, again, what this doctor gets up on the stand and says about potential pregnancies, potential miscarriages, it's not necessarily that it's wrong. They're not lying versus it doesn't necessarily apply to this case. Hi, Kimberly.
And this is the June 10th, 2024 one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's again, the first court filing that was made between Laura Owens and Clayton Echard. She first filed in family court. So that is this case.
Right.
Hi, Daniel. Hi, Tracy.
And when he didn't want to do the dating contract, he got an RO.
That dating, have you ever fully gone through the emails? Remember from the first live? That's the only one I did without you. Did you ever go through all of those emails?
I did skip through them. Yeah, I listened to it.
Girl, it's crazy.
Doctor, if you'd like to bring water with you, you may.
Yes, Dynamite.
Did we swear him already? We did. Good morning,
like
Dr. Mitchell. State your name, please.
Yeah.
Dr. Michael Mitchell.
We have about 15 minutes, so I got to go really, really quick here. I know you're retired now. Can you tell the court what you did before you retired?
I was the chairman of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at St. Joseph's Hospital. I was in private practice at the same time, and I was also on the teaching faculty of the Phoenix Integrated Residency Program.
Sorry, real quick for you newbies. So she never actually had like a gynecologist that she was seeing regularly for these pregnancies. She was doing at-home pregnancy tests, and then she would do teledocs. And apparently she was taking HCG to like increase the amount so it would show traces on the test. So something to note.
Just straight edit it and add 100,000.
Yes. She was straight edited.
Tight one. You'll know. Listen, if you feel how tight I am, you'll know I haven't been with any other men in 2 years. I'm sorry. What? You know her pussy looks like a fucking stretched out scrunchie that sits on your wrist and doesn't hold shape. Sorry. Too much? Too far? I don't care because I don't trust the bitch. You know what I mean? When a scrunchie's been used one too many times and it does not hold the circular shape no more and it's like hanging off your wrist. That's what she looks like. I'm telling you. She's whole ass lie. Her and her vegetable. Fuck her.
Sorry. I gotta be.
Because you know what I'm talking about. It's got like fucked up old blonde shape. Fuck that.
She's probably gonna strike you for that. She's like, my pussy is tight. I'm gonna send you medical records.
I'm gonna get a contract next.
And I was also on the teaching faculty of the Phoenix Integrated Residency Program in Obstetrics and Gynecology.
Okay, so you have a medical doctorate degree?
Yes.
And you practiced medicine in Arizona for about 30 years, is that right?
That's correct.
And according to the Arizona Medical Board, it says that you were first licensed in Arizona in 1992 and your medical license expired on March 7th, 2022. Is that accurate?
Yes.
It's about 2 years ago. And you retired from medicine in good standing with the medical board?
That's correct.
Your Honor, I tender Dr. Mitchell as an expert in the area of obstetrics and gynecology. No objection.
All right, so stipulated.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, in front of you there, we've got your CV, I guess. This is exhibit A12. And everything in your CV is accurate?
Yes.
Is that up to date and current?
Yes.
Okay. And like you said, you served as the chairman of the obstetrics and gynecology department at St. Joseph's Hospital in Phoenix?
Yes, for 4 years.
In that capacity, how many children did you personally deliver?
I delivered over 20,000 babies.
And I think when we were talking, you explained that the success rate of a pregnancy when a woman becomes pregnant and then delivers a baby, not all of them make it. Is that right?
Almost half of all.
Okay. Now, again, you see what I'm saying as far as what the expert is saying doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. Almost half. Wow. Like that is a large percentage that end in miscarriage. But does it apply to Laura's circumstances? 9. That teaches a sexuality class. Oh, no way. See? Vegetable, scrunchy, and a demo, I'm telling you, like, as crazy as what I say may sound, it's usually somewhere along the line where you could correlate it to something that makes sense. Sometimes.
You just ruined scrunchies for me because I wear them daily. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
I'm just going to be like, I'm putting the stretched out pussy on my hair.
Every time you use an oversized scrunchie, you'll think of Laura Owens. You're welcome.
All pregnancies end in a miscarriage.
Okay. And so if you delivered 22 or 20,000 children, how many patients did you see that didn't deliver healthy babies?
Objection relevance, Judge.
Goes directly to the, I'm sorry?
Sustained.
In addition to women that did not deliver a healthy baby, in addition to women who delivered healthy children, did you have patients who had miscarriages?
Thousands.
And so you have extensive training and experience with regard to women that have non-normal pregnancies.
Correct.
All right, Dr. Mitchell, in your report here, which again is Exhibit A12, you summarize, there's a written report and it's going slow. Let me see here. Did you review some records as part of your retention in this case?
Yes.
And your report has an index of exhibits that you looked at. There's a Banner pregnancy test, an image of some tissues. They're all attached to your report. Other than what is listed there, did you review anything else?
Just the ones that I've listed.
Okay. And after you performed that initial review, you asked for some medical records. You had a question regarding medications?
Yes.
And did you get those records?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall where they're from?
From Barrow Neurologic Institute.
And you're familiar with Barrow?
Very familiar. They're at St. Joseph's Hospital.
That's part of the same hospital where you used to work?
Yes.
Dr. Mitchell, based on your review of Laura's medical records that you've identified in your report, did you form any opinions at all regarding whether or not she was pregnant in 2023 at any time?
Absolutely. I believe she was pregnant with over 99% probability.
Okay. And can you
Okay, Mr. Sir. Okay. Over 99% probability. Now, here is the thing. When you have an expert and you have their narrative report, they're going to be basing it off of the medical documents you provide. Okay. Period. Now, you just heard her counsel explain that they're going off of everything we've seen before, everything we have gone over before, including the photos of the tissue and things like that, and these screenshots, as you'd say, of these televisit appointments and things like that. What medical documents would give you the expert opinion that 99% probability she was pregnant in 2023? I have a major issue with that because now, granted, obviously he's far more educated than we are, but I feel like anybody can go through and say you cannot prove a pregnancy based on those medical reports or lack thereof.
Right. And I agree, Bible lady. I think it's just interesting because like she doesn't have a set gyno for this pregnancy, and had she, maybe somebody would believe her, but nobody had seen her during this time to attest that
a rapid pregnancy test, and that's the only thing. Essentially, there has not been anything else. There's only been medical documents to show that she wasn't pregnant. Everything else is self-reported. Any documents that she did provide is self-reported. So how the hell, I couldn't imagine. And now I know they get paid a pretty penny, but at the same time, no amount of money is going to be able to buy your reputation back. I'm surprised that he was willing to put his name on this.
Mm-hmm.
Is he? Because that's not the question he asked. The question that was asked was, based on what you've seen, do you believe that Laura Owens was pregnant in 2023? Not that the home pregnancy test, you know what I mean? So let's jump back, to be fair. Okay.
Dr. Mitchell, based on your review of Laura's medical records that you've identified in your report, did you form any opinions at all regarding whether or not she was pregnant in 2023 at any time?
Absolutely. I believe she was pregnant with over 99% probability.
Okay. And can you explain?
See? So and I'll let it continue, obviously, but he's saying that based on her medical records provided to him with over 99% probability, she was pregnant in 2023. And
Right.
there have been that you can have a false negative. You don't really have false positives. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean something else can't cause it to be positive. It tests for HCG, not the pregnancy. So there can be a couple of reasons that you could have a false positive, but I couldn't imagine he'd be testifying about the pregnancy test in general. Right, medical records. But if you heard what her counsel went through and verbally relate, it's the things we've gone over already. What was provided to him is exactly what's been provided in this case and what we've gone over already. Because if there was anything aside from that or additional, it would have come up already in the evidence too.
That's why I said last night, like these experts, unless they treated somebody, they're only as good as the reports and information that they're given.
Right. But that's my issue, Shay, is the reports don't reflect that. Anything that reflects it was self-reporting, not actually underneath the treatment of a physician.
Right. And everything that is turned over as evidence is like screen grabs and pictures of stuff that you could tell things have been altered. You can see it in the text, and there's even text like missing where it looks like something was put over.
Yep. Blocks out. You could tell it's been edited.
And what facts support that conclusion? The facts that you considered anyway.
I am kind of the Sergeant Friday of Dragnet. I only take in the facts, the bare facts that are known to be provable. Number one, there was intimacy of some type, disputed what exactly it was. Number two.
No, sorry, I don't like that, because again, that's really unfair for Clayton. And that's how easy, just because she said it makes it a provable fact. You just contradicted yourself in one sentence. I only go by provable facts. There was intimacy of some kind. Yes, I'm not going to argue there intimacy of some kind. Intimacy of some kind that could lead to a pregnancy, though? No, that's not a provable fact at all.
Well, and according to Laura, she swallowed his semen, so
this is
She had a positive pregnancy test at a lab at Banner.
Fair, okay.
Which means that there's a 99% chance that that's a positive pregnancy.
Okay.
Number three,
that's probably what you were referring to, LSB, right? That would make sense. Okay, the positive pregnancy test. But again, there can be other reasons of why it would come up positive. Not likely, but it's possible. So if he's solely basing it off of that, come on. Thank you, Jean. Happy Friday, MJ. Work week's over. I know. So it's time to shift from spreadsheets to clapping cheeks. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to tell my husband that one.
he had a negative test or little or no fetal DNA found on a test in late September looking for fetal DNA in the blood. What that tells me is that by that point, at the end of September, the pregnancy had failed, that even though she still had a positive pregnancy test, it was no longer a viable pregnancy. The fourth thing is that she still had a positive pregnancy test in the blood of 102 on October 16th, which again, greater than 99% positive that she was pregnant. And
sir, sorry. She also admitted to doctoring that document given to the creator to reflect 102,000 and then again for like 138,000. So how can you rely on that at all?
the fact that between June 1st and October 16th, she's got 2 laboratory proven pregnancy tests. That indicates that all of the urine pregnancy tests, any other pregnancy tests that she had done likely are also demonstrably positive. And the final thing is when she had bleeding in November, and then a couple of days later had a negative pregnancy test at the mom doc. It also illustrates one, that the pregnancy finally was completed. So what happened was she had a pregnancy.
What about the sacs in July?
It failed at some.
These photos of the sacs that she took all support her narrative that she had a spontaneous abortion, aka miscarriage, unbeknownst to her.
But
July.
now he's saying, well, she started spotting blood in November, so that shows that this ended pregnancy. Even though in her affidavit, she's claiming that, I don't like this.
No. Mm-mm.
Did he not read her affidavit?
I don't think he would refer to her affidavit. No, he relies on just the medical reports.
But still, that's important. Like, how dumb does this look?
I know.
God.
What happened was she had a pregnancy. It failed at some point. There's no way of knowing exactly when. Frequently, very frequently, when people miscarry, they're incomplete. Some of it miscarries, the fetus is no longer alive, but you still continue to have a positive pregnancy test because there's still tissue there that hasn't been expelled. That finally happened in November when that pregnancy was completed, when that miscarriage was completed.
Okay, Dr. Mitchell, Mr. Echard has said that he doesn't believe that a pregnancy was possible here because there was no intercourse. Do you have an opinion about that? Regarding general, not regarding him or her, but in general.
Well, it's
what the hell? What kind of expert opinion is he going to give on that? You need to have sex to become pregnant. What other opinion is he going to have? What kind of question is that? I really don't understand what he's asking the expert. But let's hear what the response is.
Said that men are like basketball players. They dribble before they shoot. They also dribble afterwards. And if you are rubbing genitalia.
Wait, sir. Slow your roll, sir. What did you dribble before you shoot? But wait, the question was, what are your thoughts about allegedly they didn't have intercourse? Well, you dribble before you shoot. No, there was no shot taken. That's the point, Doc.
Well, the shot was to the mouth, but he's saying if you're rubbing genitalia. This goes back to her saying, oh, you maybe like do not put it in.
Yeah. And let's be real, her hoop had no net. Her hoop has no net.
It got you today.
Maybe one of those janky chain ones, you know?
Oh my gosh.
They also dribble afterwards. And if you
should
are
stop
rubbing
saying that.
genitalia together, it is possible to get pregnant.
How much weight would you assign to the fact that Mr. Echard denied sexual intercourse? Is that significant to the question of whether she was pregnant, or is it a minor point?
It has nothing to do with whether she was pregnant.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, counsel.
I'll withdraw.
Withdrawn. Okay.
Okay, hold on, wait.
That's significant to the question of whether she was pregnant, or is it a minor point?
It has nothing to do with whether she was pregnant.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, counsel.
I'll withdraw.
Withdrawn. Okay.
Dr. Mitchell, I think you said earlier that it's impossible to know for sure when Laura's pregnancy ended. Do you have an opinion about, based on the records that you've seen and the information that's been provided to you, do you have a theory about when?
It actually ended in November when her pregnancy test was negative.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? It ended in November when her pregnancy test was negative. Okay. But she passed. Okay.
So she passes the sacs in July.
She has a huge baby bump in October. Then the test before that October, a week before, showed that, yeah, she was pregnant, but it wasn't a viable pregnancy. And then 2 weeks after, oh, you had a miscarriage back in July.
J Rose.
Right. Dribble. Oh, wow.
When it failed, in other words, when it was no longer viable, there is no way of knowing exactly when that happened.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, somebody online, I think, made a comment, it's just a theory, obviously, that Laura may have injected herself with HCG. I think that we talked about a trigger shot or something like that. First of all, what is an HCG trigger shot?
It's used in trying to help somebody get pregnant, and it's by prescription. It's an injection. And I saw no records that indicated that anybody would have given her a prescription for HCG.
Sir, you've seen no records that show that she was given any type of prenatal care, any type of physician overseeing this pregnancy and confirming this pregnancy did in fact happen, a sonogram, nothing. Okay. And yeah, well, she worked with horses, and apparently it is possible to get medications and certain things for animals, which honestly, it does make sense. No, this is not the doc I'd want delivering. Listen, you dribble before you shoot. All right, boys?
A prescription for HCG.
Okay.
Would there be a reason to give her one, especially if she was already pregnant?
Right. Dr. Mitchell, Clayton, in his pretrial statement, objected to your testimony on a couple of grounds, and I know you and I talked about this. I'll just read one of his objections, that you have relied on an admittedly tampered with data set. Do you feel that you've relied on admittedly tampered data in any way, shape, or form informing your conclusions?
Yeah. Absolutely not. All I've included were the fact that they both admitted that there was some type of intimacy, that there were all the other things that I used to make my decision was based on laboratory tests.
And
I don't know. And again, it can just be a paycheck, but when you have, I don't know, like that's.
But this could hurt his credibility.
He's retired, but yeah, it could. It absolutely could, you know, and I don't know.
It's weird.
It is.
And the Planned Parenthood sonogram that we've spoken about, and I think you were sitting here and saw and heard that testimony. Did you rely on that Planned Parenthood sonogram in any way?
No.
And the HCG test from any lab test now that Laura did not send to any court, the one that said 130 something thousand, did you rely on that in any way?
No.
Does the fact that Laura has those credibility problems and that she did some things that we all agree are dumb, does that change your opinion on whether or not she was pregnant?
No.
No.
Why not?
The lab tests, like I said, are 99+%, and they were repeated over and over and over. And
really?
So she was pregnant.
One other objection that Clayton made to your testimony, Dr. Mitchell, is that you, with zero scientific or DNA basis, made a conclusion that Clayton was the father of twins. Have you reached that opinion at all?
No, that's preposterous.
I mean, I don't see it in your report. I'm just wondering if you agree that you can't make any conclusions at all because we don't have DNA.
Correct.
And you're familiar with the RavGen test process?
Yes.
Can you think of any reason why a woman who is not pregnant would want to take a test like that?
Objection, foundation.
Sustained.
Dr. Mitchell, if Laura was not pregnant and she submitted a sample to RavGen, would RavGen be able to confirm that she wasn't pregnant?
Objection, foundation.
Sustained.
Dr.
What
Mitchell,
happened to those
You're
tests?
familiar with RavGen. You just said that.
Yes.
Did you ever use them in your practice or something like that, a similar service?
Yes.
And as part of using a DNA testing service like that, does the service confirm that the woman is or isn't pregnant? Can they come back and say, this woman's not pregnant?
Objection, foundation.
Sustained.
Did you ever have that happen? When you used DNA testing as a doctor, did you ever have a test come back that said a woman was not pregnant?
Objection, foundation. And also RavGen's only been around for a few years, and I think he's been retired for a few.
I'm asking about the process generally, Your Honor.
You're old.
No, you're not.
Over.
You're not asking about the process generally because you asked him specifically. But the problem is that I could claim I'm pregnant right now and go to RavGen and get tested for paternity, and it would come back, I'm assuming, right, little to no fetal DNA because I'm not pregnant, right? So it's not, they're not testing for a pregnancy, they'd be testing for DNA. So I wouldn't think, I don't know for certain, but I would not imagine that they would come back and be like, well, we can't determine, like, we don't see a pregnancy. They're not testing for a pregnancy. They're testing for fetal DNA in the sample.
Ruled, he can answer the question.
Free cell DNA, which RavGen is a type, has been around for a number of years. I used it frequently. It not only tells you if you're pregnant, it tells if it's a boy or a girl. It'll tell you if it has genetic defects. It's incredible. It's the biggest,
They're doing that.
best new technology that we've had in the last 20, 30 years.
I was looking at my notes when you answered. So a RavGen type test or RavGen itself can tell whether it's a boy or a girl?
Yes.
Can tell, well, then necessarily can tell whether the woman's pregnant at all?
Yes, obviously.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, one final question, one series. Can you see the picture behind you there of
Yes.
Laura's body? As a physician and as a man or a doctor who's delivered lots of healthy babies and maybe some that didn't end healthy, can you explain how Laura's body could be that size and she never said that she passed any dead fetus?
Objection exceeds the scope of his presentation. He didn't even review the photo as part of the exhibits.
Overruled. He can answer if he has an opinion. The court will give it the weight it deserves, which could be a little, a lot, or none at all.
That photo is actually one of the things that, did you look at this photo as part of
I
your
saw
review?
that photo earlier, yes.
And regarding the size of Laura's belly, which clearly is not here anymore, does that show you anything regarding whether or not she was pregnant?
It could indicate that she was pregnant, could indicate other things.
The fact that Laura didn't claim to pass a large fetus, is that something surprising to you, or is that something that could logically be explained medically?
The fact that this pregnancy, in all likelihood, was no longer viable early in this pregnancy doesn't surprise me that she didn't pass much tissue at all.
That's
How does that
he
happen?
just-
Does the body?
sorry. He actually did not answer the question that was asked. And that's a way you're skirting around. And you're asked a direct question and you keep answering different questions, like that's not the question that was asked. So I wouldn't, if you lost the pregnancy early, I would not anticipate you to pass much tissue, of course, right? If you suffered a miscarriage early on in the pregnancy, you wouldn't anticipate a lot of tissue and stuff. But that's not what he asked. He asked at the size that Laura, I'm not saying verbatim, but at the size that Laura is in this photo, would that surprise you if she didn't notice essentially that she had the miscarriage? So I don't like that because you're being asked a very specific question and you're answering essentially a different question. Yes, Thistle. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 24 weeks. Yeah, but now it's, oh no, she essentially lost it at 4 weeks.
Her boobs are covered by her hair. Poor Linda.
Not much boobs though, to be fair.
I mean, you got to
Is that
remember when she
something
was
that-
pushing that baby bump up, she went to uniboob.
Mm-hmm.
Could logically be explained medically.
The fact that
Like, listen to
the fact
the
that Laura
question.
didn't claim to pass a large fetus, is that something surprising to you, or is that something that could logically be explained medically?
the fact that this pregnancy, in all likelihood, was no longer viable early in this pregnancy doesn't surprise me that she didn't pass much tissue at all.
How does that happen? Does the body? can
What
you explain?
happens is the fetus starts to grow. At some point, the fetus stops growing. There's no longer a heartbeat. If it's very early, they may just get a period. If they miscarry, they may pass a little tissue, maybe not. And some of that tissue remains enough that it continues to produce HCG. That's why she continued to have the positive pregnancy tests. And that's why we call it an incomplete abortion. Once we know that there's no longer a viable pregnancy there, but the pregnancy doesn't end until all that tissue is gone, at which time it is a completed miscarriage.
Okay. 2 more questions, Dr. Mitchell. Have you reviewed the expert report of Dr. Deans, who's Clayton's expert?
Yes,
Do you disagree with anything that Dr. Deans said?
not really. The only thing that
Oh,
was amusing to me was the fact that they're relying on a clinical pregnancy. There's a
What?
old adage, either you're pregnant or you're not.
Yeah.
The adage isn't you're either clinically pregnant or not. And the reason for that is because to be clinically pregnant, that means you have to have prenatal care. Laura did not have prenatal care. I took care of hundreds of
why
women
would
who
she
had no
not?
prenatal care.
Exactly. He's essentially saying
Especially high risk.
she's going by whether you reported you were pregnant or not, but by Laura's own words, she did. It was a clinical pregnancy because of the records you reviewed, sir. But you have to go by if she was pregnant and didn't seek any prenatal care. I don't.
He's making me feel like I'm just on another planet. I do not understand.
And again, I feel like it's you can't really directly answer, so that's why he keeps skirting around so he could be in favor of the plaintiff, but it's like he's finding the runaround.
Well, ethics matter, dude.
Mm-hmm.
To be clinically pregnant, that means you have to have prenatal care. Laura did not have prenatal care.
Oh,
I
I'm
took
sorry,
care of
Tiffany.
hundreds of women who had no prenatal care. So technically, were not clinically pregnant, walked into the hospital, and I delivered a 9-pound baby, even though they weren't clinically pregnant. Clinical pregnancy only means that they've gotten prenatal care that you could see on ultrasound or you could hear with an instrument. And so a
What?
clinical pregnancy is not relevant here. It's either you're pregnant or you're not.
And your opinion is that Laura was pregnant, even if it wasn't a clinical pregnancy, she was pregnant?
Correct.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right, Counsel, you're at 45 minutes and 43 seconds. Counsel, you
my
have 28
God.
minutes, 46 seconds.
Thank you, doctor. You consider yourself a scientist, correct?
Yes.
And so you know that when collecting data, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you're not relying on good data,
Yep.
the opinion you're going to give is not
Get
going to
him.
be credible. Is that correct?
That's why I only relied on the data that I thought was totally credible.
And that was the data that Mr. Gingras gave you, correct?
That was the data that was presented to me.
I saw when you drove into the parking lot, you walked in with Laura's mom in the parking
Hey,
lot. Are you
Wolfie.
friendly with her mother?
That I just met her this morning.
Okay, that's nice. Did you, well,
That's nice.
let's go here. Mr. Gingras asked you whether or not you relied on the ultrasound, but you're aware that the ultrasound was a fake, correct?
I've been told that, and that's why I didn't rely on it.
Okay, but knowing that the ultrasound was a fake, doesn't that cause you to be incredulous about the other data that Ms. Owens presented you?
Mm-hmm.
That's precisely why I only used the data that was laboratory proven.
Well, you actually sat in here and are relying on a photocopy or a picture of a medical record that Laura gave. That was the banner with the 3 colors of highlighter. Do you remember seeing that? You were just sitting here. The
Yeah,
example right there.
I saw that. Yes.
And you understand Laura has admitted to faking medical records in this case.
Yes.
She faked ultrasounds by putting other lab names on them. She faked the 2 versions of the HCG test that you relied on, correct?
Objection misstates the testimony.
That's exactly what you
Overruled. It can
testified
be
to.
addressed. It can be addressed in redirect.
That's what she admitted to.
You know she,
The data that I relied on was stuff that was verified from the laboratory itself.
that's not true. You relied on a
Sir, what records? And again, you guys, and we pointed out yesterday that fax cover sheet, that is what goes out with the HIPAA right before. So you could tell what's been actually obtained directly from the facilities and not. And everything that's been obtained are the ones that show there was not a pregnancy, aka no longer pregnant. Everything you are relying on are screenshots of alleged documents that she has already admitted have been doctored, but you're just relying on the ones from the labs, the ones that she has not admitted to doctoring. Sure.
The data that I relied on was stuff that was verified from the laboratory itself.
That's not true. You relied on a photocopy that Laura took a picture of and provided you. It's in your file.
The Sonora Quest test on October the 16th was, I believe, derived directly from Sonora Quest.
Okay, let me
I
pause
think
you. Does it concern you as a scientist that 3 men have accused Laura of fabricating medical documents?
that has nothing to do with the data.
Does it concern you as a, it doesn't have anything to do with the data? It doesn't mean that you should do a deeper dive to verify the authenticity of the data?
If you have proof that the tests from Banner or from Ravgen or from the quantitative
Really?
HCG were fake, I'm willing to take a look at them, but that's what I have.
But doctor, we have proof. She changed the sonogram and she changed the HCG levels in one of the tests that you relied on.
I didn't rely on the ultrasound, and I didn't rely on the faked 100 and whatever thousand.
Okay.
God.
You know that Laura testified that she, well, we can agree, you reviewed absolutely 0 records from Laura's PCP, correct?
I don't know who her PCP is.
Well, that's a problem. Wouldn't you have wanted to talk to her PCP and see what drugs she was on?
I saw what drugs she was on from Barrow.
No, you saw what drugs she was on from a neurologist that she had telemed visits with. You didn't request, doctor, records from her PCP, correct?
I did not.
And you would agree that, thank you. You would agree that it would have been helpful had you reviewed her historic gynecological records, correct? Correct?
The testing of her, whether she was pregnant or not, had nothing to do with her gynecological
You have
records.
no
Oh,
idea whether
really? What if she was
Wow.
receiving HCG treatments by your own admission earlier under direct to get pregnant, to help get pregnant, which would result in a false positive pregnancy test because HCG levels would be up. You don't think her gynecological history and records pertain to whether or not she could be pregnant? Sir. Or her primary care. And again, these telemed visits that she's done with the neurologist, self-reported medications, just like we can't rely on what medications Laura stated under oath in the injunction against harassment because she didn't list all of them, right? So I don't understand. And like for a scientist, and I love that he keeps saying scientist because it should be about the data. And if you are relying on false fabricated data, your conclusion is not going to be accurate.
correct? Correct?
The testing of her, whether she was pregnant or not, had nothing to do with her gynecological
You have
records.
no idea whether or not she had elevated HCG in her system in the years before with any of the other litigation, do you?
The fact that she had a negative HCG at the end of her pregnancy tells me that she didn't have familial HCG in her system.
Okay, doctor, let's really quickly talk about other things that could have caused Laura's HCG to be elevated. As a physician and a scientist, you would agree that HCG could be elevated due to pituitary gland issues, correct?
Yes,
It could be elevated due to cancer, correct?
yes,
Ovarian cysts.
depending on if it was cancer.
And you're aware that Dr. Yee and Dr. Chan both provided medical record, well, both indicated that Laura had ovarian cancer.
I saw those records. I didn't.
I'll move on. Let's go back. It could be.
I wish I could have heard what he was going to say, because if he said he saw those records and didn't rely on those, but relied on all of Laura's screenshots, that tells you how an expert will just kind of go in the favor.
What a shame, man.
I know, it makes you like, and I wish it could be a true unbiased opinion, you know, but it never is. Never is.
Pisses me off.
Yeah.
Indicated that Laura had ovarian cancer.
I saw those records. I didn't.
I'll move on. Let's go back. It could be elevated HCG could be caused by weight loss drugs.
I'm not aware of weight loss, but there are drugs that can alter HCG results.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. How about anxiety medications?
Yes,
How about antidepressants?
Yes.
And you have no idea whether or not Laura was on any of those medications because you didn't review her historic medical records other than what was provided to you by telemed at Barrows, correct?
I saw that she was on some of those medicines,
What medicines?
the anti-anxiety medicines.
Oh, so she was on some anti-anxiety medicines or antidepressant. That wasn't a factor? No, because
she didn't mention that.
Well, he's going to say also because of the fact that she dropped at the end of the pregnancy, yet she could have just very simply stopped taking medication. Come on, doctor.
Yeah, but I don't recall her saying in the injunction that she
didn't.
was on antidepressants. I thought
She
she just said
didn't.
epilepsy.
She said the prenatal vitamin, folic acid, and prenatal vitamins. Oh, and then epilepsy medication. Like that's
Like, why are you
that's
asking
how
me
she
these
said it.
questions?
Yeah, like so. No, she never mentioned anti-anxiety medications. Like I don't know. I don't think I can do this. Like, oh, dude, I don't eat fish on any day that ends with day.
I question everything.
I mean, question everything. I can't with this. Oh,
Medicines,
What medicines?
the anti-anxiety medicines.
An anti-anxiety medicine that you just said could elevate her HCG. Last doctor.
you didn't have
IVF drugs also
Hold
cause.
Hold on. He didn't have anything to say about that, did he? He didn't have anything to say about that. Thank you, Steph. Thank you for your content again. MJ. Hi, chat. Hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support and super chat. That's very kind of you. I'm having a great old time. I'm having a great time watching her be exposed. And those meds have side effects that include a positive false pregnancy test. And listen, given it was her third time around at minimum, third clinical or documented time around, as a doctor would say, you'd think she'd get a little bit better at it, a little bit better at her lies, even though she didn't. But she may know a thing or two about faking pregnancies at this point.
I sent you a couple pictures of Laura's face, like on like her expressions on her TikTok, and then the one of her at court where she's like losing her mind.
Oh, those are glorious.
Laura, for those who are new, like Laura's expressions are next level.
Oh my God, she literally has the Amber Heard my dog stepped on a bee facial expression. Hold on, I gotta show you guys this. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, she just killed me. I cannot believe this. Oh. Oh, two MJs. Hello, MJ Square. Oh my gosh. I hope she doesn't get offered a plea deal. I really want to see her take the stand again and have her ass handed to her. Double the MJ, double the fun. She'll be back. Did y'all see we're gonna go over Kara Cousins tomorrow? I'm really excited. I know Tess recommended her too, but I think MJ had kind of found her as well. She fakes pregnancies as well. I don't know if this is the trend starting, but it is wild.
I was trying to add it as an overlay and it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me. So hold on one second. This well, you got this lovely set of Laura's. Laura.
This was at court when she was being questioned,
Day
right?
2. Yeah, day 2. But this one is my dog stepped on a bee right here. My dog stepped on a bee. Yo, I can't with this. glorious. It's perfect. This accurately describes her. Yep.
I don't think Laura's having a mental breakdown. This is just Laura on the reg.
What? This girl's on anxiety med? I would never. Never. God. So
That's why I want her to like testify. Just her facial expressions alone are hilarious.
I just love the way like when you're directly confronting a liar on their lie and like they're like, what? Like they can be so defensive.
Oh yeah, I think that's when she was losing it because they were breaking up the past stuff with Greg, right?
Yeah.
That's when she really was like feeling uncomfortable.
I'm gonna
I saw that she was on some of those medicines,
What medicines?
the anti-anxiety medicines.
An anti-anxiety medicine that you just said could elevate her HCG. Last doctor. IVF drugs also cause escalated HCG, do they not?
Certain types.
Laura could have been on Novarel or Pregin, correct? Pregin?
I saw no records of that, and there would be no reason why if she was pregnant that she'd be on those.
One last question, doctor. The antipsychotic clozapine causes elevated HCG, does it not?
It's been reported to.
Is it Klonopin?
Thank you, Josh.
Klonopin for
Uh-huh.
decent. Okay, so the lower dosage of equivalent to a Xanax.
Sorry,
Wow.
I'm making something and I can't.
I actually was starting to
I
make
hope
memes
not.
last night, but I was like, I didn't want you to have like RE 2.0, but I really feel like she deserves some memes.
I love memes. Please feel free to make memes of Laura. If you can't laugh, then you shouldn't be here.
I was gonna do it with like pregnancy announcements, like, but not with any of the guys, not with any of her victims, just with Laura.
God. Dude, I have to show you guys this. I'm sorry. I know it's like distracting, but like you don't understand it. It's uncanny. Hold on. Are you ready?
Yes.
Dude, it's uncanny. And it's, you know what? I really want to dig into the psychology of this because I'm with body language and stuff. Liars do tend to use like the same expressions and things like that. But if this doesn't show you how loud body language speaks, okay, hold on.
Okay.
Oh my God. Look at that.
I can't see it now.
Damn you, bit my scrunchie. Jesus. Twins.
Oh.
Absolute twins.
Oh my
Nailed
God.
it. Dude. They are exactly alike. Like
They are.
The lies, it's painting them, you know? Like, oh. Well, to the left, that's Amber Heard during the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial when she said, my dog stepped on a bee, and she like the pain hit her. To the right is Laura during, I think it was the Zoom. Was it part 2 of the injunction? I think that was from part 2 of the injunction hearing.
No, I think that was like was that her like TikTok thing? I think it was like one of her own videos. That's one of her own videos. Yeah, that's one of her own videos that she did.
There's the twins. We found the twins. There they are. There they are.
Only 91 pounds, even though.
Yeah, 91 pounds. Even though the medical records I submitted showed I weighed 121 before I even knew I was pregnant. And I knew I was pregnant within a week of not having sex. But you know, we dribble before we shoot. So
I can't believe that's the analogy.
He's a scientist, Shay.
Rocket scientist.
Oh my Okay. All right. Here we go. Back to the doctor.
Let's go.
Reported to.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, redirect it.
One question, Dr. Medchill, regarding the potential of some issue other than pregnancy being the source of Laura's HCG in her blood. Are you aware that after November 14th, or on November 14th, she tested negative twice?
Yes.
If Laura had drugs or tumors or cysts or anything else that was causing an elevated HCG level, would she have tested negative for pregnancy twice on November 14th?
No, it
No
would
further
have still been
question.
That's
positive.
not true. That's not true. If you were actively taking a medication at the time, it would elevate. And if you were no longer taking that medication, which you just admitted, doctor, you wouldn't anticipate she would take if she was pregnant. Yeah, exactly. It would no longer be elevated. Hi, J13.
That's it.
Okay, before you sit down, doctor, I just have a few questions. So you said that HCG requires a prescription, correct?
The injection, yes.
Does Planned Parenthood have the authorization to write those prescriptions as far as you know, in Arizona anyway?
I can't imagine any reason why they would. It's a drug that's used to induce ovulation, so it's used in infertility patients.
Okay,
Planned Parenthood doesn't normally do infertility.
I understand, but that wasn't my question. My question was,
See?
are the medical doctors there able to write a prescription for it if they chose to, if they deemed it medically necessary?
Yes.
Okay. Did you review either the Planned Parenthood records from Mission Viejo or Los Angeles?
No.
Okay. Follow up to the court's questions.
Nothing. Thank you, Judge.
Follow up to court's questions. Thank you, doctor. You can step down.
I love when the court or the jury, even though there's not a jury in this scenario, but I love hearing the court because it gives you a real good idea of where they're coming from and where they're at. But the same way that he would skirt around and wouldn't answer the actual question, he did it even to the judge. Like, that's not what she asked. She didn't ask, do you think Planned Parenthood would prescribe something like that versus could they if they chose to?
Good point.
And counsels, before we call the next witness up, just so that I point this out to the parties, we've explored B9, B31, and A12 that have not been moved. So I don't know if that was just an oversight or if the parties are intending to move those.
I'm sorry, could I have those numbers again?
Sure, B9, B31, and A12 were addressed but not moved.
I would move to admit A12. A12 is Dr. Medchill's report.
And no objection.
Yeah, that's
And we
what
move
I-
to admit B9 and B31.
All right, and I assume no objection, counsel?
I just wanted to look what they were.
You explored them with your client on direct.
Those are his, actually. So.
Yep. No objection.
Stop it.
Okay, the court will receive what's been marked as.
It was closed that day. She gave a date that she went to Planned Parenthood, but it was closed that day. Oh, that's glorious. That's just, you know what? It just wraps it up in a nice bow, doesn't it?
Oh gosh.
B9, B31, and A12. Thank you. You can call your next witness.
And Your Honor, if we can get a time check again, if you don't
Look at this.
Sure.
Sorry, even this Gmail I see on the screen. Medical confirmation, diagnosis supports my pregnancy.
Respondent's at 34 minutes, 36 seconds. Petitioner
was
is
a
at 46
Sunday.
minutes and 6 seconds.
Your Honor, I'm going to reserve the rest of my time, so I'm done.
Okay. All right, counsel.
Judge, with some technological help, and hopefully we're not on the clock, we're going to call
We're not.
Dr. Deans.
Okay. All right. So you're on the clock for her testimony, but getting her set up is not.
Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Deans, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, counsel.
Before we go on the clock, Dr. Deans, can you hear me? It's the voice of Greg Woodnick.
Yes, I can see you too.
And counsel?
There you are. Thank you. All right, we're ready, Judge. Thank you.
Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure she can hear everybody. Counsel, will you do a test, please?
Mr. Chris.
Hi, Dr. Deans. Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning. I can hear you.
Can you see me?
I can.
All right. And doctor, before we get started, and I give this advisory whenever we have virtual witnesses, is if you need, I understand we've all got multiple screens going. If you need to look at a report or your notes or something different, I need you to let me know that you're going to do that. We'll give you an opportunity to do it wherever that document is located. Once your recollection has been reflected, please look away from that screen and let us know that you're ready. Additionally, you should be able to see, once we put it up, any exhibits that either counsel will ask you to review. Please let me know if you can't see it, okay?
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. When you're ready, counsel.
Hi, Dr. Deans. I'm going to go lightning fast. Introduce yourself to the court, please.
Hi, I'm Dr. Samantha Deans,
Where'd you go to medical school?
Indiana University School of Medicine,
Are you board certified?
double board certified.
What's your first board
Obstetrics and gynecology,
and your second board?
complex family planning.
Well, you have 2 fellowships?
Just one fellowship.
Thank you. Do you teach
I do.
medical students and physicians?
Medical students and resident doctors, yes.
You teach them gynecological and early family planning?
Yes, complex family planning. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Professor Deans. You've provided us with your CV, which is Exhibit 39. I'd move to admit.
Any objection? B39 is received.
You also did a report for us. It's Exhibit 41, which we'll pull up on the screen. Did you have an opportunity to review the medical records for Laura Owens?
Yes, the ones I was provided with.
Exhibit number 41. Did you know that that was published online on a website?
Just to confirm, I'm looking at my report, and no, I did not know that was published on a website.
Did you give Miss Owens permission to publish your report on a website?
Wow.
I did not.
Okay. Judge, I'm tendering Dr. Deans as an expert here.
Any objections?
No, I have one voir dire question for her.
Sure, go ahead.
Dr. Deans, hi, good morning. How many children have you delivered as a OBGYN?
Probably too many to count, but I would say at least 3,000 at this point.
Okay, I stipulate to her expertise.
All right, so stipulated.
All right. Basic question, Dr. Deans. I'm going to go fast here. Do you have concerns regarding the legitimacy of some of the records you reviewed?
I do.
If this court were to assume that the June 1st HCG test actually came from Laura, would that confirm pregnancy?
No.
What is the medical standard of care to confirm a pregnancy?
That would have to be either serial HCGs showing a trend over time, or a pregnancy test and or an ultrasound, or a physical exam that confirms an intrauterine pregnancy.
And we had none of that here, correct?
Correct.
All right, I'm showing you exhibit number 28. Are you aware that that's the ultrasound from Laura? Are you aware that that was altered?
Yes, I am.
Laura claimed it was anonymous and from Planned Parenthood. Any thoughts about that?
Patients cannot be seen anonymously at Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood, having been a former medical director of Planned Parenthood, PPFA, which is our national guidelines, require identification at the time of a visit to confirm the identity of the patient. The patient can't be seen anonymously.
Thank you. Laura claims she was pregnant with twins. Anything you reviewed in any of the medical records confirmed that Laura was pregnant with twins?
No.
Laura claimed that the twins were boy and girl gendered. Anything that you reviewed that confirms that?
No.
Do you recall reviewing the October 16th HCG test? I think it had a 100 or 3-digit HCG level on it.
I do.
Are you aware that there's actually 2 other versions of that exact same test in circulation?
I've heard that.
Sorry, Boots said Dr. Deans was following Dave Neal and I guess his coverage of the story and volunteered her help. I love the community coming together and people helping where they could help and holding this chick accountable.
Versions of that exact same test in circulation?
I've heard that. I have not seen them.
If I told you there was another version with 1,000 times higher HCG level, would that cause you concern?
Yes, it would.
Are there alternate causations for a positive HCG test as we have here?
Yes, sir.
Did you review I'm going to skip over the photos. Did you review Dr. Medchill's report?
I did.
You're aware that Laura first claimed she miscarried in September or October, and then the photos that are in the report indicate that it happened in the 3rd week of July, correct?
Correct.
Pursuant to Dr. Medchill's report, he concluded, do you agree with his conclusion that the data here warrants that Laura was 99% pregnant?
No, I do not agree with that assessment.
Do you agree with Dr. Medchill that the record confirms, this is from his report, a May 20th conception date?
Absolutely not. There's no data to confirm a conception date at this point that would require an ultrasound dating of a pregnancy.
Wait, in his narrative, he even believed it was a May 20th conception date? Where did he get that from? How was he able to use the data to even determine a conception date? Yeah, M169. Yeah, we're aware. Thank you, though. Which is, again, how she could be going through all of this and still pursuing her victims and perjuring herself more is just beyond me. What did he use to conclude a conception date of, oh my gosh.
Conception date.
Absolutely not. There's no data to confirm a conception date at this point that would require an ultrasound dating of a pregnancy.
Professor Deans, thank you. Judge, I just moved to admit Exhibit 41 if I didn't already.
Any objection?
No objection.
B41 is received. Cross-examination when you're ready.
Dr. Deans, you reviewed records that showed that Laura had HCG in her blood October 16th, 2023. You familiar with those?
Yes.
Where did that HCG come from?
It could come from a variety of sources.
Okay, and your report mentioned some of those sources. I'm just going to ask about specific things. Exogenous injection, I'm assuming that's a fancy way of saying sticking yourself with a needle.
Correct. Exogenous would be an HCG source from outside of the body.
And do you have any information, or have you seen any records that suggest that happened here?
I don't.
Okay. Heterophilic antibodies, which I did a little reading on that, some sort of allergic response, it sounds like maybe?
Correct. An autoimmune response can be triggered by exposure to animals and create positive tests.
Okay. But the fact that Laura tested negative for pregnancy November 14th would appear to be inconsistent with at least the heterophilic antibody theory. Would you agree with that?
It depends on the type of test. A urine pregnancy test might be positive, but a blood test could still be positive. It depends on the assessment and the level of HCG at the time of the test.
Okay, and I think Dr. Medchill said, and I think you also said, that cancer can cause elevated HCG levels. That's a fact, right?
Correct.
And have you seen any records to suggest that Laura has cancer presently, or that she did in 2023?
Not presently, no. I know there's a discussion of a prior history of ovarian cancer.
I understand that. But regarding 2023, if Laura had cancer in 2023 that caused false positive pregnancy tests between May and October, when the last one was, how can you explain her testing negative in November?
I mean, I think it makes that less likely unless she had treatment in the meantime.
And another option that you wrote about in your report was something called familial HCG syndrome, as being a way that someone could test positive, have HCG in their blood, not from pregnancy, correct?
Correct.
Do you know how rare that is?
Very rare.
I read that it was about 10 cases in the planet. Does that sound about right to you? And again, if Laura had familial HCG syndrome, that would explain some false positive tests in the middle of the year, but it wouldn't explain the negative at the end, would it?
That is correct.
Dr. Deans, in your report, you talked about objective evidence of pregnancy. On the first page in particular, you said that the only objective evidence of pregnancy is a Banner Urgent Care serum quantitative HCG from, well, I think that's actually a misstatement. The October 16th wasn't at Banner, but there was a serum HCG, and you've referred to that as objective evidence of pregnancy. Is that true?
Correct.
And in the absence of some other explanation, cancer, familial, horse tranquilizers, or whatever, in the absence of some other explanation, you would agree, and Dr. Medchill, I think, said, that HCG test from October 16th is objective evidence of pregnancy, right?
It is objective evidence, and one of the possibilities of that objective evidence is pregnancy.
Right. And if a woman is pregnant, regardless of how much or how little prenatal care she has, she's still pregnant, right?
If they are pregnant, yes.
I mean, a woman could be pregnant and have no ultrasound until the day the baby comes out, and she's still pregnant, right?
Yes, and the objective data would be the baby coming out of her body.
Right. Oh. And Dr. Deans, you worked, or your report.
I love that.
Because
she, don't try to trip her up. Yes, the objective data for a pregnant woman who did not get any prenatal care, clinical pregnancy, the objective data would be the baby then coming out of her and her delivering the baby. There's your objective data.
It would be the baby coming out of her body.
Right. And Dr. Deans, you worked, or your report and your resume indicated that you worked at Planned Parenthood for a while?
That's correct.
In that capacity, did you counsel women regarding terminating their pregnancies?
Correct.
And just for the record, I'm strongly pro-choice, strongly Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
If a woman was choosing or was thinking about choosing to terminate her pregnancy, why would she have prenatal care?
Oftentimes patients seek care first to confirm their pregnancy before they make their decision about how to end it.
But in a lot of states,
you have to.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but you've run out of time.
I'm out of time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No redirect. Thank you, Professor Deans. We appreciate your help.
All right, any
Thank you.
objection to the professor disconnecting?
No.
All right, thank you, Dr. Deans. If you'd like to disconnect, you may. If you'd like to stay and listen, you absolutely may.
Thank you very much.
I'd want to stay and listen.
Time check, Judge.
38 minutes, 57 seconds.
We're going to call Clayton quickly.
Watch how fast. This is the fastest witness in history, but you know that they would have given him the heads up. And I wish it wasn't. I'm not saying that I don't think that they should have time limits. Obviously, some need time limits, but like at the same time, are you really absorbing? I mean, this is a bench trial, so like the judge knows what she's listening for. But if this was in front of a jury, you can't rush and fly like that, you know, like, because are they even absorbing information that you're asking? But Clayton would have been prepped. He knows exactly how to answer, you know, like, and this is just so fast.
I think they made the right move to go to a bench trial.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if a jury trial would, I don't know if this is even considered technically a trial, actually. No, like versus just a hearing. I have to look up exactly what this is considered, because it was, again, family court. And so it was her trying to dismiss her petition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what this would be referred to as. I don't want to misstate.
You may. If you'd like to stay and listen, you absolutely may.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Time check, Judge.
38 minutes, 57 seconds.
We're going to call Clayton quickly.
I think in civil, they really do keep to those times. It's different in criminal because you got somebody's life on the line there.
Yeah.
Depending on what the charges are.
Yeah, and we follow a lot of criminal, but now that I've been following more civil recently and like listening to the hearings all the time, I'm seeing this more often.
Right.
I wasn't aware of it though. So it is a bench trial. See, I wasn't sure if it was considered a trial. I know it was a bench, but like I wasn't sure because I just wasn't sure how that would have worked. Because if it was arguing, no, you don't get to dismiss it, what would that be considered, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no juries. But still, I didn't know if it was called a bench trial per se, but it is. Okay, that's interesting. So here we go, Speedy Gonzalez.
Clayton, I'm going to be lightning fast. State your name to the court.
Clayton Echard.
Did you participate and sign the pretrial statement that we provided to Judge Mata?
Yes.
Are those statements true and accurate?
Yes.
Are we asking the court, in light of our very limited time today, to consider our pretrial statement as part of your testimony today?
Yes.
How did you meet Laura?
Laura targeted me on LinkedIn. She asked to do real estate. We ended up exchanging contact info. She became flirtatious, sent me a provocative photo. I told her to come over, and then we saw homes the next day.
Did you have sex with Laura?
Absolutely not. I've said time and time again, she performed oral on me twice. That's it.
Have you heard two other versions about what happened?
That night.
Absolutely. Many versions.
Remember, she swallowed it twice. But notice how he said she targeted him on LinkedIn. I'm really starting to believe that she sought him out.
Well, yeah, I agree.
And now that we have a little bit more knowledge about, okay, she sought him out on LinkedIn, but immediately started sending provocative stuff. And then after their night, they followed through with looking at properties and stuff like that. So it's like from moment one, she was seeking him out with intent to do this.
me twice. That's it.
Have you heard two other versions about what happened?
Absolutely. Many versions. She's claimed that she was raped by me. She also claims I was too high to remember what happened that day.
I'm going to repeat what you just said. She claimed she was raped by you and that you were too high to remember.
That's correct.
Were you too high to
that's
remember?
wild.
That's incorrect. I remember every single thing from that night.
Did you rape her?
No, I did not.
You stated that she
Why did he
had
say it like
gave you
that?
oral sex twice that evening. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What?
The way he said, he's like, "Did you rape her?" Like,
I didn't take it like that. I did like he's going fast again. Another issue with kind of speeding through things, but
he
I think
enunciated that word like big.
well, did you? You know, like no. But the fact, honestly, to even be asked that in a courtroom full of people, and to know you didn't, and I've said from the beginning, I don't know if anyone else, one of the worst feelings or emotions I've experienced in my life is when you are telling the truth about something, but people think you're lying. And I hate the feeling. I don't know how to express the feeling, but I hate it. Like, and I have this overwhelming desire to like convince me, like I'm telling the truth, you know, like, and so the fact that he was even ever accused of something that could destroy his life, like even put aside the pregnancy stuff now, you know, the rape allegation, and to be asked that, how offensive, you know, how uncomfortable. It's horrible. It's horrible. And it makes me mad. And we'll go over her protection hearing and stuff. And you'll see how that judge really just favored with her because she's a girl and she didn't claim rape, I think, at that point, you know, but she's clearly pregnant. You're just a guy who doesn't want to own up to his own mistakes. You know, these are consequences to your actions. Same way you could just claim rape and then bam. And it's really minimizing to actual victims, number one, but it's terrifying that you can be brought here in court in the situation that he is in right here. And how can you protect yourself as a man?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about too that insinuation, but then remember the July email with the mom and the whole her saying she was gonna off herself, and then she called this like whoever was holding that speaking engagement that he was doing for unaliving prevention and got him in like, you know, she was just trying to get him in trouble and get him caught up, and it was just sad.
The emotional manipulation, and we've talked about this a lot because we saw it even with Letitia, so like to threaten your life and put it on anyone else. I'm sorry, that's on you. You cannot put that on anyone else, period. But to use that, and we know that was her typing that up. Now, I don't know if her mom had any level of involvement. That's speculating, you know, but we did hear about an accomplice. But that is so horrific. Like, honestly, like, and again, you know, we hear a lot about female victims, and I'm not minimizing that, but there are male victims out there and not enough attention around it. Too afraid to speak up, will be mocked, belittled if you spoke up, or the same way he sat in the courtroom and he said, like, I never had sex with her. And the judge is like, she's clearly pregnant. God, how he must have felt, how in that moment before he had any success or victory, he must have felt so, I don't even know. You become gaslit by the world. Like you didn't have sex with her. Like what the hell? Like he couldn't have done anything. At that point, it's her word against him. And she was willing to go to family court, take these tests. She was willing to go to the extreme.
Which hearing was that again that the judge said that? Was that with the RO?
So we didn't watch that. I know because we jumped around. But that's going to be at Laura's protection hearing against Clayton. And I know we'll have to watch it. And she was granted it, but then she said, but wait, I want communication and contact with Clayton. So even though I'm getting this protection order granted, I'm not asking for respondent not to communicate with me because I'm pregnant and we have this active family case, going on, and we have to communicate. The court said we have to communicate. And so I'm just asking to refrain from posting anything to your social media about me, but keep talking to me. And that's what happened.
That's sad.
I know how defeated he must have felt in that moment.
Pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
Did you rape her?
No, I did not.
You stated that she gave you oral sex twice that evening. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Where did you complete?
Her mouth both times.
What happened the second time?
She ran straight to the bathroom.
Were your fluids ever down there, as Laura has claimed?
No.
What happened the next days?
The next day, we went and saw houses. I told her that I crossed.
What does he mean? Like she ran to the bathroom immediately? Okay, so she swallowed the first time. The second time, like you finished it. Hold on. You know, like what do you mean you ran to the bath? Like, did she like literally run to the bathroom with like a mouthful, dribbling, as the doctor would say? Like,
why would you run to the bathroom if you're swallowing though?
Like, I can understand swallowing and then go to the bathroom, but like how you know, like what are we talking about here?
She probably like mouthwashed with his semen.
God, who knows what she did with that semen?
That's why he asked about the turkey baster thing.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
She's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
In
the
my
next
opinion.
days.
The next day, we went and saw houses. I told her that I crossed the professional boundary. I told her that that was a one-time thing. It would not happen again. She became very agitated at that point, was crying, and asked for me to give her a chance.
But hang on for a second. She came over to your house. She gave you oral sex twice. The next day, you told her you weren't interested in her?
That's correct. I rejected her, yes.
And then 4 days later, what happened?
4 days later, she started making claims that she could possibly be pregnant.
Okay. But hang on. Did your penis ever go inside her accidentally, inadvertently, or anything like that?
No.
The good old accidental slip and insert. Come on. God.
Inside her accidentally, inadvertently, or anything like that?
No.
You're a public figure. You're the Bachelor. That's why everyone's watching today. Are you embarrassed to say who you've had sex with, Clayton?
I think I'm the last person to lie about who I've been intimate with.
Did you have penile vaginal sex whatsoever?
No, absolutely not.
Has that been your story since day one?
My story's been consistent since day one.
I'm going to show you exhibit number 3. Just put that up on the screen. Thanks, Isabel. Did Laura start communicating with you more after she said she thought she was pregnant at 4 days?
Yes, nonstop. She sent me over 500 emails and text messages.
4 days after having no sex, I think I might be pregnant. Any woman who's been pregnant knows no. You could have a fear, oh shit, like, you know, like I think, like I'm scared I might be pregnant because you just had sex and it may have been unprotected. That's rational. But I think I might be pregnant because of symptoms, or it didn't even make its way all the way to your egg yet. And yes, I'm being dramatic, but like, come on.
Well, like Neat said, trip and fall.
Did you dribble? But did you dribble, sir? Like, are you kidding me? Oh, like you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it if it isn't documented and like proven now, you know, like that this happens.
It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
You thought she was pregnant at 4 days?
Yes, nonstop. She sent me over 500 emails and text messages, 13 different phone numbers.
13 phone numbers?
13 phone numbers.
How many messages?
Over 500.
Exhibit 3, is that a sample of those texts and emails that were shown to Judge Gail Ketsis in the injunction against harassment hearing from November 2nd, 2023?
Yes.
Move to admit Exhibit 3, and Judge, you already took notice because you watched the videos.
I assume no objection.
No objection.
B3 is received.
At some point, did she start calling your mom, who's in the courtroom?
She started reaching out to my parents. She started reaching out to my work organizations. She started reaching out to women that I talked to in the past. She went for everybody.
Was she claiming anything in particular?
She was claiming that I was, a deadbeat that's not supporting her through her pregnancy.
Well, hang on. It was more than that, Clayton. It was a deadbeat who was not supporting her through her pregnancy of what?
With twins.
Twins?
Yes.
Did she reach out to the Sun magazine?
She did, yes.
Did she ever tell you what genders the imagined twins were?
A boy and a girl.
Did she ever tell you, drawing your attention to some motions Laura filed, and for purposes of attorney's fees, she filed a motion to communicate on August 8th, a motion to compel communication on August 23rd, and August 29th, a few days later, an expedited motion to communicate, And then shortly thereafter, she filed.
Listen to what he's saying. She filed motions forcing communication, expedited motion to communicate, and then when he doesn't, to hold him in contempt. Like, that is insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Or filed, and for purposes of attorney's fees, she filed a motion to communicate on August 8th, a motion to compel communication on August 23rd, and August 29th, a few days later, an expedited motion to communicate. And then shortly thereafter, she filed an order of protection against you, correct?
Yes,
And you're aware that she's filed orders of protection against two other individuals seated in the back of the courtroom, correct?
that's correct. Yes.
They are on the left.
Yes. Well, my right, but yes, your left.
Thank you. Greg Gillespie and
Michael Mancini.
I want to look at exhibit number 7, Clayton.
No, Annie.
Is that a true and accurate copy of email communication between you and Laura from July 1st, 2023?
Absolutely, yes.
You received it?
Yes.
And she sent it?
She sent it,
You
yes.
heard her testify with Ms. Arena from my office, or excuse me, with Mr. Gingras, denying that emails exchanged were from her. She seems to be blaming, I guess, Greg Gillespie for faking her emails. Did you remember her testimony?
Yes, yeah, she said that, but nothing she says is true.
She's actually sent you emails with videos attached to them, and you've responded back to them, correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right. Specifically, exhibit number 7. I think you stated that it was a true and accurate copy. I think the caption, I'm going to try to read it on the caption, the top. I think it says, "The final opportunity to consider abortion." Do you remember getting this from Laura?
Yes.
Move to admit exhibit 7.
The objection?
Do you agree that's real?
Yeah,
Yeah, no
Marie?
objection, Your Honor.
Seven's received.
Kelly, it's the American flag. Oh, bless your heart. It's an American. It's the top of the American flag. It's Laura's birthday hat. Because I read that comment and I was like, huh? And then I look and it perfectly looks like a birthday hat. Kelly, is that the judge that's wearing a birthday hat? And if so, why? Why is this judge wearing a party hat in a courtroom? Oh my God. Honestly, it suits for this type of nonsense. But yes, my glasses are so dirty. I'm so embarrassed. Don't be. That was phenomenal. Because it actually does look like a birthday hat. It does. It looks exactly like a birthday hat. She's here to party. Yeah, well, none of us will be able to unsee it now. Oh my God. I nearly choked the way that Laura choked on Clayton's cum on the night that she got pregnant. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, no objection, Your Honor.
Seven's received.
Further down in that email, Clayton, and this will get awkward, but further down in that email on July 1st, which was weeks after the alleged encounter, Laura references her tight vagina. Why is that both uncomfortable and relevant to the court today?
Because she's stating that if I would have felt how tight her vagina was, I might change my mind, which is her stating that I never penetrated her. We never had penetrative sex.
Wait.
If you could only feel how I am, you would know. Yeah, he would know if he had penetrated you prior. Yeah, why didn't they have Clayton stand up and twirl? That's fair. They had Laura stand up and twirl. Oh my gosh. Can all of you guys now not unsee the party hat? Thank you, Kelly, because now all I see is that party hat.
Laura references her tight vagina. Why is that both uncomfortable and relevant to the court today?
Because she's stating that if I would have felt how tight her vagina was, I might change my mind, which is her stating that I never penetrated her. We never had penetrative sex.
Wait, the exhibit that the court just received has Laura saying that her vagina was tight as if you hadn't been in there before?
That is correct.
Well, had you been in there before?
I had not, no.
All right. She also sent you communications in exhibit number 7 talking about wanting to have sex with you during a trial week. What was that about?
Yeah. She said that she would be the safest person to have sex with since she was already pregnant.
Hang on for a second. She told you she wanted to have sex with you because she was already pregnant?
That's correct.
How did you feel when you read that email, Clayton?
I've been sick to my stomach. All of this has made me sick.
Did you feel like she was trying to trap you?
Absolutely.
You heard the testimony with Dr. Medchill concerned that Laura was on IVF medications trying to get pregnant. Is that consistent with those concerns?
Yeah, I believe that she was taking medications.
I'm going to show you exhibit number 6. And let me restate that question. You heard my question to Dr. Medchill about IVF medications, which are used to cause pregnancy, and you share concerns that she
According to
was
her,
using those
noodle.
to trap you. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Exhibit number 6, Isabel. Exhibit number 6 is another email dated June 28, 2023. Is that a true and accurate copy of the correspondence between you and Laura?
Yes, it is.
You remember reading this?
I remember reading this.
Do you
yes.
remember reading it on June 28th-ish when you received it?
I do, yes.
And the title of this, can you read the title of this out loud for the court?
Having the baby if I don't hear back tonight.
Having the baby if I don't hear back tonight. Move to admit exhibit 6.
Any objection?
No objection.
6 is received.
Thank you. I'm going to show you exhibit 11. Did Laura send you ultrasounds during this time period?
Yes, she did.
Is exhibit 11 an image of an ultrasound you received from Laura?
Yes.
She's going to claim that she didn't send this to you, but how do you know this came from Laura?
Because I was interacting with her from that same email address. I also took a screen record showing that it was from her email address, and that's where all my other communications have come from her.
Real quick, so on exhibit number 11, this one says, the caption on it says, ultrasound video proof, correct?
That's correct.
And the signature block on there in the picture is the exact same signature block and picture from the other email, which is also not favorable to Laura, which she claims is not hers, correct?
Yes, no, that's
Move
right.
to admit exhibit 11.
Any objection?
No objection.
On exhibit 11, well, do you know where the video came from on exhibit number 11?
Yeah, from a YouTube video from 7 years ago.
YouTube video from 7 years ago?
Correct.
On that, this is the one that says smile, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one says GE.
No, this one's a different one, yes.
Okay, because how many are there? How many ultrasounds have you seen?
3.
Okay. This one, I think, on the caption says, and here's my 100 million% real ultrasound.
Yeah, a lot of zeros, yeah.
Do you remember? I don't know if my math is right on that. Do you remember receiving that?
Yes, I received it from Laura, yes.
Court already admitted it. I'm going to show you exhibit number 28. You recall receiving this ultrasound?
Yes, I saw this from Bonnie Platter.
Okay, I'm going to be real clear about this. Miss Owens just testified that she did not use this ultrasound in a court proceeding, but it was actually admitted as an exhibit by Laura through her counsel at the February 2nd, 2024 deposition of you, correct?
Correct.
All right, that video deposition of you, have you seen that recently?
Yes, Kirsten.
Yes, I have.
Where did you see the video deposition of yourself, Clayton?
It was posted on YouTube by either her counsel or herself.
Wait, Laura or her
Oh,
counsel
really?
posted your video deposition on YouTube?
Yes, correct.
Wow.
How many paternity tests did you take, Clayton?
3.
I'm going to show you exhibit number 36.
Shady.
You know what? I'm going to skip past that. That was the Dr. Medchill's. I'll skip past that. But, well, you know what? Real quickly, how many versions of the HCG test have you seen?
2, I believe. Yeah, the 102 and 100.
One with
2000.
more digits
yes,
on it?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you exhibit number 46. Would you agree that exhibit number 46 for attorney's fees is a blog from Mr. Gingras where he acknowledges his client faked some of the science tests?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to show you, to move this along, exhibit number 55. Exhibit number 55 was right before your March 1st deposition, or right before, excuse me, Laura's March 1st deposition. Actually, did she show up at her earlier deposition?
No, she didn't.
And the court ordered her compelled to attend, and we're still waiting for the court to order on attorney's fees for that. Is that correct?
Correct.
But at her, right before, what happened a day or two related to exhibit 55, a day or two before your deposition?
She threatened to extort me to the tune of $1.4 million in order for me to drop the deposition and the case entirely.
Wow.
She sent you a letter a day before trying to get out of the deposition?
Yes, she threatened me.
Threatened you with what?
Monetary means.
Is everything that we've talked about today so far, other than the YouTube videos, which are more recent, is everything addressed in prior pleadings already before Judge Mata?
Yes.
Really quickly, for attorney's fees purposes, exhibit number, well, let me get in a few exhibits real quick. Exhibit 29, 37, and 59. These are the medical records from pursuant to subpoena from doctors for Planned Parenthood, Dr. McCool, and Dr. Higley. We move to admit they've all been considered by the experts.
I'm sorry, you said 37?
Strike that, sorry. 29, 37, and 59.
Any objection?
Not to those. Did we talk about Exhibit 54 yet?
Hold on 1 second. 29, 37, and what was the other one?
59.
59 are received. We'll talk about that one after council.
And then I'll go back. It was exhibit number 55, which is the letter that Laura sent you, suing you to sue you for $1.4 million before the deposition. Move to admit.
Now that one I'll object to. That's a Rule 408 settlement offer, Your Honor. He's offering to prove that the claim's not valid. That's absolutely inappropriate.
Judge,
Over objection, the court's going to receive it for the purposes of attorney's fees only. Counsel, you have run out of time.
I'm out of time?
You're at 50.
I'm at 50.
So you can go sit back down. Okay, so counsel, what exhibit were you asking me about? You said has something been moved.
54. We just cured that, Judge.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so at this time, what the court's going to do is I'll take this under advisement. What that means is I'm going to go back, I'm going to review the notes that I took today, I'm going to review the evidence that was admitted to the court, and then everyone will receive my order in writing.
Your Honor, I've one housekeeping matter. I'm leaving the country tonight. I'm not back until June 28th. If the court...
Sorry, it's just so perfect. I'm leaving the country tonight. I'm out of here. Not even the state. I'm leaving the country tonight, Judge. Okay.
issues something that requires a quick response, I'm going to be on a boat and I may not have the ability to respond. So I would just ask either that you grant me some extension if I need it. I return back to the country June 28th. So just advising you.
Okay, and I'm sorry, counsel, when do you leave?
Tonight.
Okay. All right. So June 10th to the 28th, you will be unavailable. Okay.
I should have email part of the time, but not all of it.
Yeah. You can't really be held accountable for that. And I understand that. Anything else administrative?
No, thank you, Judge.
All right. So how this will work now at this point is I have relinquished all security to court security and any underlying law enforcement that are present. They will be escorting people out in the manner that they deem to be appropriate. If there's competing orders against harassment or orders of protection, then we can take those things into consideration. And I just ask that if the people in the gallery are able, any conversations, if you could just take them out into the hall, that would be great for our other people who are here for other matters. Thanks.
Can we just send Laura out perhaps?
I know. I wish they could.
I can't wait to watch the body cam footage.
I know. We could do the body cam next. I'm just... Dude, and these emails, I'm never going to get over these emails.
Okay, well.
I want to go back and reread them.
Well, that's why I was pulling them up real quick. So having the baby, if I don't hear back tonight, you want to read it?
Yes. I'm physically and emotionally exhausted from the pregnancy and all of this. I just need clarity as to what we are doing. I have offered to give you control over the outcome of the pregnancy if we date exclusively and care for each other. I bring a lot to the table and I feel like I could really make you a better person. Yes, I've called out your BS a lot, but it's because I know you are better than how you act sometimes. I get your anxiety because I've been there and truly believe in your mission despite the fact that you haven't shown the kindness when clearly I have been emotionally struggling through all of this. I couldn't give a shit that you were the Bachelor and still know nothing about you other than the clips I saw of you with two girls when I was angry at you. I want to get to know you and be a great partner for you. I would feel exactly the same way if it was in this situation with any other man. I need to care about someone and trust them to consider ending a human life. That's weird. Okay. When I want nothing more than to be a mom someday. Don't you understand that? In regards to intimacy, I know it's important to you and it is to me as well. If you think about it, having sex with me is the safest thing you can do at this point. I'm already pregnant, and if we choose to go this route and trust each other enough to have sex, then we are at the point where I would be taking abortion pills, so there's no risk. Also, no circumstances would I have an abortion if you want to be on dating apps or seeing other women while we're figuring this out. I would want to date with intention. I know what I bring to the table as a partner, and I'm well aware that you don't want to become a father right now. It's a win-win situation for you, but a huge leap of faith for me. You haven't been trustworthy to this point, so I'm the one taking a gamble on the outcome of this. You could be leading me on, but I would take your word, and you're not, because for whatever reason, despite how you've treated me, I believe in you. We're both hard-headed as hell, but I think we can make a very good team. If I didn't think so, I would just go ahead and have the kids, since like I said, I want to be a mom more than anything in the world. I need to know your decision tonight because I'm getting rid of the abortion pills if it's a no, or if I don't hear back from you. I really do need to adjust my seizure medication and take other precautions for my health and the well being of our baby if we're going to have a kid. You're the father. There's no two ways about it. So saying no here is a guarantee you will be a dad, Laura. Gosh. Wow. If you say no to me, you're going to be a dad. If you just wanted to have a baby, then you don't need him around. If that, like, you think you're that well off. Like, she's so gross.
She's like, this is the final opportunity. Clayton, I prayed that this email will have an impact on you, unlike my other emails. It's truly the last one you will get from me, where abortion is a possibility. I have taken time to reflect on what I've been going through with our pregnancy and how you've acted towards me. You've shown no compassion or empathy, while I have been endlessly patient with you and provided you with an absurd amount of evidence that I am pregnant. I've been completely honest with you, as displayed with my willingness to send you anything you've needed at any time. And I've proven to you, based on when my pregnancy test became positive, that there isn't a doubt that you are the father. I understand that you, and of course the court, want a paternity test, and I've proactively been trying to schedule that with 3 different labs, in bold. I've contacted Choice DNA, ArcPoint Labs, and any lab test now to see when is the soonest we can do it. If I weren't pregnant with your kid, wouldn't I be avoiding that at all costs? You also, of course, know that I was accepted as a patient at Scottsdale Prenatal Associates.
What?
I'm sorry, Perinatal Associates. Yep. If I weren't pregnant, why would a high-risk specialty practice that only accepts clients based on records that verify their pregnancy and their condition take me on as a client? You've also provided with recordings of 2 phone calls with the staff at Scottsdale Perinatal Associates that confirm their receipt of the ultrasound from Planned Parenthood and verify the pregnancy, along with acknowledge the fact that we will speak about the possibility of twins with the doctor on July 24th. In addition, you asked for photos within the hour of abortion pills to verify that I had gone. How would I have been able to send photos of and with the pills with my name on them if I hadn't actually gotten them? In addition, why did I offer to take a pregnancy test immediately when I got to your apartment? And why would it have been positive if I wasn't pregnant? No person in their right mind would think that there was a chance that my pregnancy wasn't real. So your lack of belief makes no sense. We are coming up on 2 weeks of me, the mother of your child, being blocked on text messaging and every platform after you said that it was immature of you to have done that before and that you would never do it again. You promised to support me. It's been humiliating to have to rely on emails to communicate with you that have mostly been unresponded to. And when they have, you haven't been kind-hearted. I have poured my heart out to you as I've explained why this decision is so difficult for me, because my father is dying right now. I've explained that the circumstances feel all too personal because my grandmother was almost aborted. At this point, I look stupid for continuing to respond to your endless
Poor
requests.
grandma.
Oh, just wait, Jay.
Don't you do that to grandmama.
Oh, because it's going to come up later how, okay, yes, this may be my 4th abortion. Okay. I can't.
Oh my gosh.
So she said, at this point, I look stupid for continuing to respond to your endless requests for evidence when you have been provided with so much more than you need. It was humiliating to pee on a stick in front of you, yet I did it. And when the test came back positive, you still didn't believe it? Do you really think anyone would agree with the amount you have questioned me despite all of the documentation you have been given? I never would have threatened to go to the media if you hadn't told me at the start of this that you would just do that if the pregnancy wasn't real, because people like you need to be held accountable. Your behavior after discovering that I wasn't lying has been selfish. You haven't stepped up as a 30-year-old man who would be there for the mother of the child when you are half responsible for the situation, which is cowardly. I have told you my mental health matters so much to me because of what I've gone through. And I opened up about a dark family secret that my grandma committed suicide and how it impacted my dad. Grams, yo. You didn't even have the decency to respond to me. Given your behavior, I have absolutely no issue going to the media anonymously after the paternity test and leaking what I have attached in this Dropbox file below. I don't even need to explain the story because your words and treatment of me say it all. If this is how you choose to treat me, I have absolutely no allegiance or loyalty to you and would be fully convinced that your mission was in an attempt to stay in the public eye, which kills me to say because I really think that deep down you do care. Pause. His mission has to do with suicide prevention and things like that. I have been praying and praying for you to show me who you really are. And God keeps telling me that you're a good person and someone whose life I can enhance. So I don't know why things have been the way they are. I honestly wish he would be telling me differently because it's hard to keep believing in someone who is so demeaning in these circumstances. If the man you have been is who you are, you deserve to be held accountable. But my God, I don't want to do that. You can't say you haven't been given a voice when I have told you that I will have an abortion if we try things out for a few weeks and have a good reason for aborting a child. So far, it seems like you want to terminate the pregnancy because you don't want to grow up and because it would impact your dating life. Those are not good enough reasons to end a life. These words feel menacing because you know I like you and I want to try things out with you. I don't deserve to feel hurt at this point in my life and my pregnancy when I haven't done anything to deserve it. I have no desire for money because I have more than enough. I have no desire for fame because I experienced what that was for the entire time I was in San Francisco. I completely understand why you would be suspicious of women after you for being in The Bachelor, but that is so not me. And in fact, I think that's the least interesting thing about you. I have never felt more empowered in my life than when we were doing real estate together that hour and crave feeling that confidence again. That was because of you. There is so much about you that I find admirable, inspiring, and sexy and attractive. You're smarter than you think, charismatic, and capable of doing so much good in the world. I know that if you and I tried things out, we would end up elevating each other to new heights in our careers. Like I've said over and over again, you don't like me because I'm pregnant with your kid, not because of who I am. You haven't gotten to know me, and it's been your loss. I've shown you qualities that no other woman would be during this process, and that includes being brave enough to stand up to you and hold you accountable for your actions. I know I've said that this was your last chance to make a decision a lot, but this time, Clayton, I really mean it. I am completely at peace with the likely outcome that I will have your child. I do see a little hard times ahead, but if that's what we choose without considering an abortion, but if that's what's meant to be, it will be. You wouldn't be obliging to make the decision to date exclusively before deciding whether or not we have an abortion. I know how valuable I am as a partner, and it would really be your loss not to see that for yourself. I know I could get any man on the dating apps or the bars, so I'm by no means desperate. I also know that you are I also know that you are sexually attracted to me, despite the fact that we only hooked up one time when you were very, very high. You obviously enjoyed it, even though you can't really have seen it. We were a match based on your mental status at the time. Being with me would be a major win for you. So you wouldn't be doing me a favor by being with me. I would feel the same way if someone else was the father of my child. I would want to try to be together like most religious people do. And in fact, as you know, marriage was the likely outcome of an unexpected pregnancy. So I'm not asking for a lot. And make this decision together. Maybe we would decide to keep him or her, which would be a beautiful thing. If we decide not to, maybe we would work towards having that in the future. I know that we were brought together for a reason, and it's too bad that you've seen that reason as God just using me to guide you to another level. Holy macaroni.
Are all her emails like this long? Like, could you imagine 500 emails you're writing?
Not all of them. This is the second half to that one, though. You want to read the second half?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I come home tomorrow afternoon. So if you want to consider an abortion, this really is our last chance because of timing and the fact that neither of us would want to end the pregnancy. One, there is a end the pregnancy once there is a heartbeat. I would like to get together tomorrow night to talk and explore intimacy. It's time for you to make an effort if that is something we are considering. Obviously, I would love to have sex in the future and feel like I'm the safest person you can have sex with since I'm pregnant. But if you really think think that, like you said yesterday, my goal was to date and get pregnant during this time, we can absolutely hold off on it. However, it occurred to me that you might believe me more about paternity if you were inside of me and felt
You'd
how
feel the
tight.
fetus. You could feel the fetus with the tip. Dr. Dribble, where are you at? Oh my God.
I cannot. Oh, if you were inside of me and felt how tight I would be after not having sex in more than a year, maybe then you'd believe I hadn't been sleeping around. And again, you wouldn't be doing me any big favor. Having sex with me is a privilege and not something I have done for a long time.
But you just had sex with him a couple weeks ago. What do you mean?
I know. Their
Uh,
scrunchie is back to normal size.
yeah.
If you either don't get back to me tonight or if you give me the final word that you don't want to date and choose the outcome of the pregnancy, we are 100% having the child and there's no going back. I mean it, and I'm at peace either way. My mental health and well-being is affecting our child's, and I would blame you if we have a special needs kid and discover that my stress hormones and blood pressure caused that.
Now she's
Evil.
putting on special need. Yep. If we have a special needs child, it's your fault from this stress.
I just need you to make a decision. Clearly, given the evidence I've given throughout the process that I put together in the attached Dropbox file, I am believing there's not a pregnancy or that you're not the father. You will be sorely mistaken and it will be too late for us to consider an abortion. I would have no issue going to the media after the prenatal paternity test to explore your horrible treatment of me during this time and lack of compassion despite your mission. If you would stay with me for a few weeks to get me to have an abortion and then block me and go MIA as you have in the past, please don't make that decision. I'm talking about really giving things a shot in a different way than either of us have in the past, since this is a unique circumstance. If you wouldn't be excited, don't make that choice. If you're truly not into me, I would rather stick with my morals and have the child. I'm only considering an abortion because I know that's what you want. So if that alone doesn't make me stand out from other women, good luck finding one who would care that much to sacrifice their own values and morals because they believe in your mission. I would trust and respect you enough for you to make the decision on your own as to whether or not we have the abortion. Do you realize how big of a deal this is for me to offer? I would love to be a mom and want to be in the future more than anything in the world. But God, And you, depending on what you decide, are responsible for deciding when that is. If it's now, I would be thrilled. But I really do believe in you and the message you want to spread. So please show me that please show me that my faith in you isn't misplaced. I would also be so appreciative of the consideration you'd be showing for my feelings and why it would be important for me that I would promise to keep everything that happened between us. You need to understand that allowing you to make the decision would be the biggest leap of faith and sacrifice of my life. So if you don't appreciate that, go find someone else and we will move forward with having the child. If you don't respond, I know you will end up regretting because I'm offering to give you not just a say, but the say in the outcome of our pregnancy. In my heart, I think we will both regret not exploring the abortion option because there will be no going back after this. Please let me know your decision. And regardless, please be kind. Hope we are on the same page. And in that case, hope to see you tomorrow. If not, I genuinely mean it when I say congrats on being a dad, Laura.
Uh-huh. Now, keep in mind everything she's saying about how, even though her logic makes no sense, right? I would need a good reason if I'd be willing to take this child's life. So if you're not looking to even try to make this work, I'm having the kid. But if you're willing to date me and sign this contract, I'm willing to take the child's life. What?
It's so ass backwards.
And
like,
all
not
this
how.
trauma about the grandma, just remember that, okay?
God, I hate her.
This is the email. It's a very long email that she sent to his parents. Okay. So essentially it says the same thing, like all the proof I've showed him, like you guys are more than willing to come if you'd like to come, but
How'd she
Clayton's
get
not
their
invited.
email?
I don't know.
God, she's psycho.
Then she writes this one, Clayton. I was going to ask if you wanted to read the article that I wrote before submitting it to the Huffington Post, but I know you won't respond, so I'll take it that I have your permission to send it as is. Before I do that, and prior to your work getting involved with withholding income for child support, I wanted to ask one last time about the agreement. I added a few things to it that are in bold. Here it is. Version 4 Relationship Non-Disclosure Agreement. I also contacted another abortion pill company who said we could still do it at this point if we wanted to. You haven't and aren't putting pressure on me to do that, but it is really important that we talk about this if you don't want to have twins with me. Your behavior leads me to believe that would be your preference, so you need to say something if it is. I will not hold it against you whatsoever if you sign the agreement. If you don't, that's fine. But we are having them. I just want to have a fresh start and remove all of this animosity from the picture. We need to be making smart decisions right now, not ones driven by emotions. Neither of us wanted this, but it's happened. And we need to make smart choices. If I don't hear back, then fine. We can continue like this, and I will submit my piece to the Huffington Post. But your unresponsiveness is getting you nowhere with me, and it will get you in trouble with the court. Please simply consider the agreement with modifications. It is written entirely in your favor, not mine. All the best, Laura.
It's wild to me that she tried sitting there in court, the injunction saying that he brought this to the media when she's constantly threatening him.
Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So here is the fourth amended contract. Here are the changes. Terms of the agreement. The couple agrees that 1, and this is batshit, for a period of 1 week. And keep in mind, she claimed that later on, she claims he raped her. And this is what? This is
the dating contract?
For a period of 1 week, while determining the best course of action for their pregnancy, Party A and Party B will exclusively explore a relationship with intention, meaning with the goal of it turning into something long-lasting and meaningful. There is no obligation to engage in intercourse if either party is uncomfortable with that. 2. From the date that this agreement is signed until 1 week after, no action whatsoever will be taken in FC 2023-whatever or in any family, civil, or criminal case. Party A and Party B agree to take a paternity test with the lab of Party A's choice, Ravgen, and will schedule it within 24 hours of when this agreement is signed. After the paternity tests come back, providing Party A to be the father of Party B's twins, then Party B will execute a HIPAA release for Party B to discuss the pregnancy with any of Party A's providers from the date of conception, May 20th, through the end of the pregnancy in February 2024. If a joint decision is made to terminate the pregnancy, then Party A and Party B will stipulate to dismiss the case once the pregnancy is confirmed by a doctor to no longer be viable. Party B will pay for Party A's legal fees to date. During the 1 week period, if the decision is made to continue the pregnancy, then Party A and Party B will discuss what would make the best situation for the children, whether that be raising them together or apart. The goal would be to keep the case out of the court and to avoid accruing continued legal fees. The court case will remain active until an agreement is made outside of court. Then the parties will stipulate to dismiss it. There is no obligation for the relationship to work out beyond the 1 weeks. However, if it is apparent that this agreement was entered into for the wrong reasons, evidenced by abuse of any kind, verbal, emotional, or physical, it is null and void. Finally, at the end of the 1 week period, provided the terms have been met, then Party A and Party B are forever barred from bringing charges against each other for any reason up to that date. Shay.
Gosh, she makes me mad.
You need to climb into her head for a second and realize what she was trying. Good night, Auntie M. What she was trying to achieve if he, for some reason, agreed. She was trying to get him to hook on and be forced to date her. And then she obviously would have claimed to miscarry because she could not produce a child. I don't know.
That's why
tried to get pregnant. It doesn't seem like that's I don't know. But like, do you know how twisted this? Could you imagine a guy doing this to a girl?
No, and that's what I think makes this so bizarre, because it's like most of the time, like you would hear about maybe a woman trying to entrap a man to have a baby, where she's wanting to trap for the date. And it's weird, and it makes me wonder, were there other victims of hers that signed this kind of contract? Like, it's just so perverse, and the manipulation that she thinks it's okay. You can't sit here and claim you want to be a mother and then you're talking about aborting right away. Like,
she knows he does not want kids, so that's how she's get it. Like, if you don't sign this contract and date me, you're going to be a father, and I know you do not want to be a father. Only if you sign a contract and date me, then I won't have the child. And that is so manipulative, and that's blackmail. And she's not even pregnant. But could you imagine if this was a guy forcing a girl to do this, the outrage? And would she be doing this if she was just raped by him?
No, I don't think she would. That's why I feel like the claim for rape kind of falls short.
But it's terrifying that someone can do that. And that one accusation can ruin and destroy his entire life.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Okay,
it makes me so
yeah, because wait till we get to the one where, because he doesn't answer. I need to see all of them. I want to read every effing message. But clearly, he gets to the point where he gets into contact with Greg and Mike, and she's gonna go off the deep end.
I love that for her.
Yeah, Samantha. Yeah, it's extortion. Yep. Did her family? That's a great question, Vata, you saying? You could read. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Clayton, this is actually the last email. David,
Spoiler alert. It wasn't.
Davis said that you're not interested in resolving this amicably at all, and that nothing will change your mind. I know that there's one thing that will get you to take a paternity test and communicate: going to the media. I wanted to give you a heads up of what I'm going to be submitting as a tip to Page 6 and the New York Post. I have my read receipts turned on, so if you read this and I don't hear back, I'll go ahead and submit it. If for some reason this changes your mind, let me know. Regardless, you will have to acknowledge the situation very soon. So it's just your choice as to whether it's with the public involved or just me.
And thank you, Harlot, for 22 months. Oh, 27 months. Oh, I'm getting the two numbers. Sorry. Dyslexia clearly kicked in. Number for 27 months, but she's saying congrats on the 22,000. Thank you so much. But the best 27 months. So thank you. Yeah. Yep. And we'll get to that for the next live for sure. Yeah. So many last emails. And what I love is that she's desperate to get him to respond. And none of it worked. I really respect him for that. But look what she attaches. Tip submission. Clayton being nice. The email to Clayton listing his insult. I'm not sure what that's. Extortion threats. Established paternity redacted. Borderline suicide letter.
His insults.
Last email. Insults. Thank you. Like she's sending this to the New York Post. It is. Then she has her paternity test, Laura to Clayton. Clayton, you can have your attorney talk to me rather than Davis, because I'm not sure what type of lawyer to retain since you've hired an entertainment or defamation attorney rather than a family lawyer. Similarly, you can respond to me and not Davis. Anyway, he relayed your message, and here is my response. Quote, she continues to claim that I'm denying a paternity test, but I haven't once, end quote. You're right. You haven't once. You have 21 times. See attached. It's that what you told your lawyer? It's out and an out lie. I continue to say that I will gladly do a paternity test under the conditions I am comfortable with. Nothing has changed. Let me know if you're amendable to that. If so, let's schedule it and get it done ASAP. All the best, Laura. Unanswered emails to paternity test. Oh, this is what she sent to the Hope Conference. He was supposed to be a public speaker speaking out about suicide prevention and things like that. Go ahead. Read what she fucking wrote.
Oh, man. She's going to make me so mad. Okay. This is, hi, my name is Laura Owens, and I am hesitant to send this email, but I feel like I needed to so that I can have a clear conscience. I would ask that you please keep this information confidential. I learned that Clayton Echard is a speaker at the Hope Conference. I am pregnant with his unborn twins and have filed to establish paternity with the court. Clayton has gone dark on me, despite the fact that I provided him with an abundance of evidence of the pregnancy. I even took a test in front of him that he purchased, which came back positive. Now he is refusing to take a paternity test. I was raped, assaulted, and left for dead in March of 2022. And up until my encounter with Clayton, I was not with anyone else. I haven't been since either. He is 100% the father. You can click the links below, including my TEDx talk, to see that I have credibility. To say that I've been overwhelmed since I found out that I was pregnant would be an understatement. The thought of raising one unexpected child was a lot to handle, but the thought of bringing two into the world really put me over the edge with anxiety. Clayton has promised to support me after I took the positive pregnancy test in front of him. But like I mentioned, he has decided to ignore me. He has said mainly that he wants to have full custody, but said twice that he wanted full custody and would move to another state with the kids. They are due in February 2024, and I have no idea what to expect of Clayton when they are born. I've been very scared of the future and lonely, and confided to Clayton on July 30th that I was feeling borderline suicidal. He chose to ignore me, knowing that if I hurt myself, it would kill his unborn twins. I
Wow.
still have not received a response. The only reason I felt this way is because of him and how he has treated me throughout the process. He has acted like I was ugly and not worth his time or effort to try to date despite our situation. He has dehumanized me, been extremely demeaning, and has gaslit me throughout the process. I have wanted no money from Clayton. All I want is his support because this is a very scary time for me. I wish I had the option to just block someone and forget the pregnancy existed, but I obviously don't have that choice. I wanted to pass this information on in case you wanted to reconsider Clayton's role as a speaker at the conference. Based on how he's treated me, he's the last person who's qualified to give a speech about suicide prevention and intervention when he doesn't even care if the mother of his children took that final action. I'm sure he will try to portray me as crazy if you speak to him about this, but I assure you that Clayton is the father of the children and he knows it, which is why he's refusing the prenatal paternity test that I offered to pay for. I'm attaching my letter to him regarding feeling borderline suicidal, as well as the court papers that were served on him to prove that we are indeed part of a paternity case. I have plenty of other evidence that the pregnancy is real, should you need to see it. If Clayton can provide value to people despite this, then by all means, I support him being a speaker. And I apologize for even sending this email. I just wanted you to know that he may not be speaking for the right reason since he clearly doesn't care about the cause as much as I hoped he did. I am putting him on this email as I have nothing to hide and he knew I would be sending this. Thank you for your time. All the best, Laura.
Shay, she sent this to the Hope organization knowing he's going to be a speaker at the conference. Could you ever imagine, even if she was doing something like this? Right, Leah? Like, that is really messed up. And she included the suicidal letter she sent him. Look at the little attachment she includes.
This is gross.
That's why, even though, again, I think he did a very good job for going pro se at his civil injunction against harassment, but there are, just even seeing the few things we've seen, there really would have done a better job at showing very specific things. But again, you wouldn't know what to really show if you weren't an attorney. Oh, I can't wait, Samantha. Wow. Like, that is so messed up. Then she's like, Clayton, I genuinely thought you would have unblocked me based on what I wrote about you and how I felt disrespected. But I guess that's a no. As you can see, I was offering to do the test with no stipulations if you had done that. Now, it's not an option. I have tried everything at this point, and I give up on trying to get you to take accountability and deal with this issue privately. I think you want it to be public, which I don't want. Anyway, that's how it will have to go because you can't ignore the fact that you will be a dad in February. All the best. And above attachment was a screen recording of petitioner's text message to respondent asking to take the paternity test.
Wow.
Okay.
Clayton, if you don't agree to meet up privately, then tomorrow I'll be filing the motion to contempt and the second good faith consultation certificate showing you yet again refuse to participate in the conference needed for this motion. If you agree to meet up privately, then I will be filing the notice of withdrawal of motion to communicate. Please let me know what you want to do, or if I don't hear back, I'll be filing the first two I mentioned. All the best, Laura. Jeez.
So she attaches the motion for contempt, which I still don't understand how the court could force you to communicate if you don't want to outside of the court. But
she's so manipulative.
Okay, I think this is, it's either this one or the next one. Oh, no, it's the next one. Okay. So this is Clayton Oh no, this is again, she's sending to the family because she can't get a response out of Clayton. And she's explaining like she's on basically a time limit. Okay, wait, I guess I have to read it. So I wanted to give an update on where things stand as I have not heard back from Clayton, and I have to read this one. So when you read the next one, you'll have the context.
Okay.
I wanted to give an update on where things stand as I have not heard back from Clayton, and I presume he has still blocked me, which he told me before he does when he doesn't want to deal with the situation. If only I had that same opportunity. But Abby, my body isn't allowing me to forget that I'm pregnant. Rather than continuing to send him several emails a day, I hope that we can meet in person to discuss what is going on. Because as Clayton said last week, I feel we need to have a face-to-face discussion. It's too easy to get upset via text, but in person, conversations are more caring and cordial. I believe this is exactly what we need, as texting hasn't been working well. And we should have been talking in person for most of this, anyways. Texting isn't meant for meaningful, impactful, life-changing conversations. And I've known and I learned that plenty of times. I told Clayton last week that I was going to be to California for the weekend, and that if I was going to get abortion pills, it would be much easier to do so there in California for many reasons, and less traumatic, because there isn't a law there that there is in Arizona that makes the mother view the ultrasound. He has told me that he wants me to take the pills, but understands that his preference for me doing so, because it would impact his ability to date other women in the future, is not enough of a reason for me to end a human life. I am attaching a screenshot of my chart after my visit on Sunday to Planned Parenthood in Orange County, which confirms that I had an ultrasound that was consistent with the conception date of 5/20 when I was with Clayton. And like I've said, he's the only person I've been with since March of 2022. That there was a gestational sac, meaning a viable pregnancy, and that I refused to view the ultrasound and take the abortion pills at the clinic. They don't typically allow you to take them home, but since I live out of state and was as conflicted as I was, they allowed me to. Now that we know that we have a viable pregnancy, things seem all the more urgent. I'll continue to say until I'm blue in the face that Clayton is the father and that there is a 0% chance that it is anyone else's. I told him that he needs to pay for the prenatal paternity test because it is not providing me with any information that I don't know, but that I will gladly reimburse him the full amount if I'm wrong. He agreed to that, and I'm eager to get it done and have contacted multiple companies about the timing of it. The consensus is that it can be performed at 7 weeks, that there's a chance that there's not enough fetal DNA present at that time, in which case you would have to repeat the $1,500 test. It seems like we would be safest doing it at 8 weeks, although ArcPoint Labs, based in Scottsdale, said 12 weeks was their minimum. The results will come back in 7 to 10 business days. It was explained to me at Planned Parenthood that medication abortions are most successful early on in the pregnancy, and that as the weeks go by, they become less affected. By the time the results are back from the prenatal paternity test, I would need to do a surgical abortion, which I will not do under any circumstances. I only mention this because once the prenatal paternity test is taken, it's a done deal that I'm having the child, and there will not be an option for an abortion once the test results come back. My preference has been to have the baby all along. So that obviously is not an issue for me, but if it is for Clayton, he needs to know that. I haven't lied about one thing so far, despite his doubts. He himself had me take a pregnancy test, which turned out positive, and now a doctor has confirmed the pregnancy on an ultrasound and said that it was the very small size it should be based on the date I was intimate with him. If he doesn't trust me, that's fine, and I'm more than happy to prove him wrong again. I just know how high the stakes are right now. And I want to be clear that this really is the last time I will consider an abortion. Again, this is to his parents.
Wow.
The last thing I would want is, if I were in Clayton's position, is to feel like I don't have an opinion on something so important. But it seems like his reaction to the stakes getting higher is to withdraw even further. However, there are several factors at play that he needs to consider regarding my health and its impact on the baby if we decide to carry it to term. First of all, my stress levels have a major impact on the fetus's development in the womb, and not having any emotional support from Clayton like he promised has been extremely difficult on me. Most importantly, though, my neurologist has emphasized that I need to change my dose of epilepsy medication significantly because I'm at a higher risk of a seizure during pregnancy, and having one could have a terrible impact on the baby. I've delayed going up on it because I haven't known what we're doing, but I really need to make a decision. I don't think that either Clayton nor I could forgive ourselves if the child ends up having a lifelong condition that could have been preventable. On a personal level, I want to share that a big reason I am against terminating the pregnancy is because of the impact not having an abortion had on my family. My great grandma was 14 when she gave birth to my grandma, who
Oh
she
God.
adoption. If she had an abortion, I wouldn't be here. It's impossible for me to think about terminating the pregnancy without thinking of that, even though in many ways, not having the baby would be an easier option. I'm also getting feedback from my sister, whose baby was born a month early on May 24th, and who says that this is the greatest thing she's ever experienced, but that is also the hardest, and she can't imagine how she could ever do it without a partner. On the other hand, my mom has been my main source of support on this and has asked me to think about what I would regret more when I'm 90 years old on my deathbed, having an abortion,
Whoa.
having had the child. When I think of it that way, the idea of giving up the child feels implausible, even though Clayton has told me many, many, many times that he would not want any custody, nor to have anything to do with him or her. I imagine that would change at some point once he saw the baby. I would absolutely expect him to share custody and parenting time with me. I apologize for yet another email, but I feel helpless in terms of communicating with Clayton. And as far as the father of the child, he's the only person whose support and input really matters to me. Obviously, having a child would completely change the course of our lives, and I want to figure out what we're doing together. I know that many women would make their own
He
decision
doesn't want to be with you.
without regard for the baby's father's opinion, but that's not me. And I need him to understand that. I really care about Clayton's feelings, but I can't take them into consideration if he's treating me like this. If we're going to go forward with it, that's great. And I want to be able to get excited. But right now, it feels like there's tension in the air about what is happening, and the silence is deafening. If there's anything you could do to talk to him, I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time. All the best, Laura. Now, this next one,
Oh my
really
God.
just one more long one, but this next one is when I guess she gets noticed that he's made contact with Greg and Mike, and everything she said about the abortion and this great grandma story and everything, just read it, Shay. And
Oh
that
my
was to his
gosh.
parents. I didn't even read the first one to his parents, but like, so could you imagine? Oh my God, that is crazy. The lies are so bold with this one.
Yeah, this is wild. Okay. Clayton, it came to my attention that you may be trying to get information from one of the two ex-boyfriends I have a restraining order against.
Greg
And
and
more
Mike.
and more specifically, his partner. Previously, you had promised me that you wouldn't do that, which I have in text messages. Oh God, girl. I'm sure you've been informed that I have been pregnant twice, once in 2016 when I was 26 and in 2021 when I was 31. Since I know
The
where your
bold.
head is,
Sorry, in the bold, she bolds it. Go ahead.
since I know where your head is going, please also remember that just because I was pregnant before doesn't mean I am not pregnant now, which I very much am. And obviously, you are the father. The information I'm giving you means absolutely nothing in the context of this. The only pattern I have is that I have been pregnant twice before. Which ones? Considering there are many women in this country who have been more than 3 children by the time they are 33, my history is not that unusual. And if you were to publicly act like it is, I'm sure you would get attacked by feminist groups. Oh my gosh.
She's harnessing the
Hi,
feminist.
baby. Michael went right in. He's like, oh gosh.
Yeah, I don't
I,
want no part of that shit.
I always give him updates on what we go over. And he's just like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, her over-explaining is a massive red flag.
It is. Oh, not the feminist groups.
Not the feminists.
I'm sure that you think this information will give you some sort of smoking gun, but let me assure you, I have no shame regarding the pregnancies themselves. I regret having the abortions, which certainly has been a part of why this situation has been so difficult for me. Obviously,
but what about great grandmama? If you had no problem having multiple abortions before, why is it such a big thing now?
right?
God,
Obviously, the situations under which I would bring these children into the world would not be ideal. But I'm 33 and feel like this will probably be my last chance to get pregnant. While the ex from the abortion in 2021 forced me to have the abortion, which we have been in litigation about, I have been extremely clear that I have never once felt pressured from you to have an abortion and will gladly go on the record saying that. If you decide you want to go public about what has happened in the past with my reproductive history, I will sue you. Yeah. That is my
reproductive history. Yeah. If you dare speak a word about my reproductive history, listen, Dr. Dribbles didn't even need to review your reproductive history to make his expert opinion. It doesn't matter. It's crazy.
That is my confidential reproductive medical information, and you're not allowed to disclose it publicly. In addition, both pregnancies happen with men I have restraining orders against, and disclosing that information would put me in jeopardy. I just wanted to warn you of that now. My prior pregnancies have nothing to do with the fact that I'm pregnant now and that you are the father. I'm providing this info as a courtesy to you, but all of this is for your eyes only and not allowed to be sent to the press or anyone. It is entirely confidential. Please click this Dropbox link for all the documents I'm sending you.
She keeps sending Dropbox links.
Why is she
Talk
doing
about
that?
overcompensating, Shay.
I cannot
When you're
handle
telling
her.
the truth, you don't need to include a Dropbox.
I mean, it's only credible if you have a Dropbox link.
So
God,
she had
Maura.
all these Dropboxes, all this proof, yet she didn't submit any of it into her own favor for court.
Right. They didn't know that existed. Oh, the 2016 pregnancy. I became pregnant by the man in San Francisco who I have a CLETS restraining order against. Our restraining order obviously, sorry, I have a storm coming in, so I'm outside. Let's see if you hear the thunder. So our restraining order obviously had absolutely nothing to do with the pregnancy, and in fact came about 2 years afterwards when he stalked me after I broke things off. He continued to violate the order, which prompted me to move to Scottsdale. That is the ex I talked about in the TEDx talk. 2021 pregnancy, screen recording from one medical patient portal attached. Since I'm sure you already know this, that ex and I have been involved in litigation since 2021, but it is coming to an end as he is going to be forced to settle the case or pay me a large fee if it goes to trial. I became pregnant by him in August of 2021. He violently and forcefully ensured that I would have an abortion. After I went to One Medical to have the pregnancy confirmed, he insisted that we do a video visit, which we had with a nurse practitioner who, after seeing how angry he was, and had him leave the chat after she said the test was indeed positive. Now I'm curious who that nurse practitioner was.
I know.
The ex in Arizona that I have a restraining order against is 1 million times more dangerous than the one I have the order against in California. The FBI has been investigating him in connection with what happened to me in March of 2022. Bitch, please. Which I am not even allowed to say. And if I discover that you've told him and his partner this, you will be jeopardizing my safety. I even had security provided to me because of the extent to which he went to retaliate against me. If that's the case, he's in violation of the order I have against him. And he's a very dangerous man who at least one other woman also has an order against. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into if you're dealing with him. He's not who he appears to be and has very dark connections. I'm happy to provide you more information about that in person, but not via email.
Of course.
Where it could be discovered, since a part of his order was because of cyber hacking. Again, these abortions are not related to what is going on with us right now, but certainly have shaped how I feel about the current pregnancy. The other two were early abortions. Okay. Not according to those messages. I've not been pregnant for this long before. When you search my name in the court, the two FC cases are my restraining orders against the ex from 2021 and 2022. Same person. The other civil case I have is when I sued my contractor for shoddy work on the barn and I won. I also had a case in San Francisco that I filed from when I was a passenger in an Uber. The driver was texting and we got into a bad crash in a tunnel. That is all you will find on me. All the best, Laura Owens.
That one cracked me up because it's like, okay, I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna think. All of a sudden, the great grandma story doesn't really make too much sense given that you've had multiple abortions. And when I say that, I'm not saying that if someone genuinely had emotion and was struggling, but it's such bad lies, she can't even keep up with it. There's no continuity. Geez. Nothing consistent, nothing. I'm
like
excited
the
to
FBI
look
part.
at the Uber lawsuit and stuff too.
I said I like the FBI part. I don't know why. That's just funny
The
to me.
FBI's investigating him, and if you dare tell him that. And she's like, oh, I don't want to put in emails, but I'll meet up with you in person. Bitch, you have included more in these emails than you did in your declaration or affidavit. What are you talking about? Yeah, all while having a missing ovary from cancer and PCOS. Oh, she's a little miracle monster, is right.
Oh, I hate her.
Mm-hmm. So then there is, and if you want option A, I will not post this. I am just looking for support during the incredibly overwhelming time. Final email regarding this, but I wanted to give you the courtesy of showing you the post. I'm attaching the photo I'm going to use. I'm over being treated like shit. And at least if this is public, you'll have to give a statement to handle the media. Not sure when I'll put it up. The caption is surprise. I can't wait for the arrival of these next Valentine's Day. Oh, and on a more serious note, their father, Clayton Echard, he said he wants nothing to do with them or the process. He has blocked me from messaging him, refuses to see me or his growing babies, and says he will continue to ignore me. He doesn't want to have anything to do with them after they're born and thinks they will negatively impact his dating life. Tag Clayton and let him know what you think. Please see the following legal waiver. After proof of opening is obtained, I choose not to respond to this email. I am confirming that its contents are true, and this includes my acknowledgement of paternity. In addition, by not responding, I am giving my approval to Laura Owens to post the above content on social media. Clayton, this is a situation you can't run and hide from. You will need to take accountability for your actions, which created twins. If I can't get you to do it, then maybe the public can convince you to. All the best, Laura. Echard twins coming February 2024. Hold up. Because even if, let's say again, she was pregnant, all this was the case, you wouldn't call them Echard twins. Like they would be Owen twins. You are not with, and that doesn't mean the baby can't take the father's last name. But my point is, you can't just do that. Like you can't just. No. Can you? This is why I needed you to see like these emails, Shay, because like it gives so much context. And so there's like 600 of them. And I wish we could read every single one. There's this one last one, I think. Here, let me see. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Clayton, and here is my 100,000,000% real ultrasound video. There was an issue with the sample, as Brett said. All the best.
And she attaches the ultrasound, which she, in the trial we just watched, said that no, that's her ex, Greg, who hacked her email and sent it from her to Clayton.
Oh gosh.
I'm obsessed. I need to know everything about this case. Like I need to know everything about Laura. And it seems like again it's going to be a hard one to try to catch up on, because if you weren't there in real time, you'll never know all of the details of how it played out, especially with Dave Neal and stuff, like, and anyone who was covering it. But I'm going to try to do my best to uncover. So I know we need to, I think probably next we should go through the body cam footage, just because I know we're jumping around. So may as well just whatever at this point. There's no timeline that we're following. But that just came out like 2 weeks ago, you know, like that came out around the same time I did my first live on this. And so that's interesting, because they finally go into the vegetable and they get Laura, and she is everything that you would imagine when they're serving a search warrant. And
Did she flip them off or something?
She was just, where are we? Oh, sorry. Where'd we go? We got sucked into Laura's scrunchie. She was desperately, and honestly, it made me sad for her dad, because her dad is ill and he couldn't get out of the bed really on his own, unassisted. And then, you know, they're coming in at 6 a.m, you know, like, and it's dark and it's gotta be anxiety ridden, you know, like, but she is just flipping and making it seem like they're inconveniencing her fun, and that her first concern is her dad. Meanwhile, they're there because of you. You put your father in this situation. Oh, did you, Samantha? I found the document she submitted for the continuance. See, if you go to the Victims of Laura Owens website that I know Shay just keeps dropping, there is a documents section. And so all of the court cases and really all of like the motions back and forth, a lot is there. We just have to sit there and take the time and open each one of them up. And then I know we have to go through the former protection order hearings. They're not as long or crazy, but it's very frustrating to see essentially a judge believe her because she had a fake bump.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. She's a sovereign citizen. Yeah, she does sound very much like a sovereign citizen in the body cam footage. How she keeps saying, "Don't you dare tell," and so this, "Don't you dare tell so and so this," because in the body cam, her dad told the police Laura's suicidal, but don't you dare tell her I told you that. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Well, tomorrow I know we're pivoting and doing the Cousins case, which again, it's the girl who faked an entire pregnancy and then used a reborn doll to pretend she gave birth. But maybe Sunday then we'll hop back and continue and do Laura's body cam footage. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hoorah. All right, awesome. Well, I hope you guys, if you're interested in Laura, I know you guys will be interested in this case tomorrow. Again, it just happened. It was just yesterday that I saw this. And I'm sure charges are imminent in that situation, but you guys are gonna be just as mind blowing because you're having the fake bump, you're doing the gender reveals all over TikTok, and then you actually follow through with pretending you gave birth and come back with one of those tiny reborn dolls, which are the tiny babies that look very realistic, and then try to claim it's living. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm loving this theme. And I'm glad that it's starting to get exposure because this stuff happens all the time.
So she's a Scottish woman. How old is she?
She's young. She's pretty young, Shay.
Oh my God, that reborn dog. I want to throw my phone.
It didn't even look. Listen, I've seen some crazy reborn dolls, but the pictures I've seen that she posted, it's like, yo, who's going to tell her? Like, my baby born in the 90s looked better.
Wow. She's 22.
Oh my God. Yeah, she's young. She's young. So that's scheduled for tomorrow, same time. And then we'll continue with Laura on Sunday night. So I'm just so excited and thank you. And I know we hit 22,000 during this live, and that is awesome. And I'm sure it's some newbies from the Laura, and I appreciate it because maybe newbies to the channel, but we're newbies to Laura's case. And so I appreciate you guys bringing the knowledge and the facts and educating us. It's been really a wild ride, and I continue to go down the rabbit hole. I very much look forward to it.
Me too.
Should have gotten a Temu report. No, I think she just came back and like within the car seat, this reborn doll, and then she had an excuse of why nobody could hold the baby. Like it's nuts. But all right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Shay. I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Have a great night.